For the last 23 years, they've been coming to St. Peter's Field for one of the most unique baseball games around. From rising high school prospects to former MLB stars, tonight they will share the field in Cambridge to remind us what America's pastime is really all about. The 24th Old-Time baseball game starts right now. Welcome to Cambridge, Massachusetts for the 24th annual Old-Time baseball game. Thanks for joining us. First pitch just moments away. You can see Pedro Martinez on the mound as he gives us a look. He wants to go. Thank you again for joining Alex Barth, Eddie Basile. Nick Rojas is on the, I guess, sidelines, we'll call it, foul lines.
He's roaming around. Yeah, he's going to get some good interviews for us tonight.
Find him later. The first pitch from Pedro is hit into left field. This one's heading back, settling under it, and making the catch out in left is Cam Walsh. But for Eric Ramirez, who was just a sophomore at UMass Dartmouth, that's got to be a thrill to, take a pitch from Pedro, really hit it hard.
Jumped on that first pitch, and Pedro laid it in there for him and gave it a ride.
So Pedro Martinez is the starting pitcher for the home team. That is the Abbott Angels, the Andreg family, the other title sponsor, the other sponsor of a team name. Third year in a row we've had these two face off against each other. Pedro kicks and deals. That's in there for a strike. Maybe a couple miles an hour off that fastball from the last time we saw him in a Boston Red Sox uniform.
A little smile on his face there.
Here's the pitch. This one's hit into the outfield again, this time into right. Lining it up and making the catch out in right field is Cam Monagle for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down, but a couple hard hit balls off Pedro.
Now batting the second baseman.
Quick low pitch count. He might see him in the second inning too. And he's going to bat, actually. He's going to hit third next inning too. So
that was apparently part of the condition of him playing, is he wanted to hit. He's playing tonight for John Martin. Tonight's game is in support of John Martin and ALS-TDI, supporting ALS Research. ALS-TDI is a Boston area research facility. As the first pitch to Johnny Welch is a strike. If you're new to the Old-Time baseball game, you're just noticing the uniforms. That is where the Old-Time game gets his name. That's in there for a strike as well.
Johnny's wearing the 1944 7th Army Air Force. Joe DiMaggio wore that when he was serving. Look out.
That's a little behind that. Almost clipped him. Careful now. Careful looking down, Pedro. Pedro actually drove John Martin, former Nesson cameraman, here to the field. He picked him up at his house.
Yep, they came together. It was great, great scene when they pulled in.
The 1-2, he struck him out, Pedro Martinez.
Nope, he's got one
That's
more.
the second strike. Sorry, his scoreboard was a little off.
Pedro's looking good right now.
Settling in. Here's the 2-2.
Ooh, nasty curveball. Didn't bite on that.
Nobody on, 2 out. The count. So many fans here. Tough to see the scoreboard. Record attendance for the Old-Time game here this year, and I think they broke it by a good amount.
Oh, definitely. If we pan up and down, they're actually in the outfield, which we've never seen, out in left and right field behind the fences. Just to see Pedro tonight. What a spectacle it is.
And he rung him up. Strike 3, a late strikeout call from home plate umpire Dave Tresca. The crowd gets what they want. A Pedro Martinez strikeout in the top of the first is in the books. He gets a fist bump from Lou Merloni. Let's talk about some of the players here, Eddie, playing in this game tonight. We had kind of that sudden start. You're going to see a mix of up-and-coming high school talent to, well, Pedro Martinez, an MLB Hall of Famer, and everything in between.
Yeah, we've got Lou Merloni playing third base. He was just out there. We've got local broadcasters. We've got everyone. We've got high school kids, kids in college, kids playing Cape League, college kids. We've got just a mix of everybody here tonight.
A big Cape League presence. They actually donated the bats for tonight's game. They're sponsoring this guy as well. You're seeing right now Teddy Rodliff, the side armor from Stony Brook. He was one of the most impressive pitchers in the America East this past year. He has been for the last few years second all-time in saves in the Seawolves program, and that's a program that gave us Joe Nathan.
Yes, nice program. Coach got a good program going there.
And he will face Max Burt, Lou Merloni, and Pedro to get things started.
You must move your car.
As we said, everyone has a different uniform. The uniforms aren't repeated. And Max Burt's uniform is going to be 1959 Chicago White Sox, #2, which was won by Nellie Fox.
So you'll have two Northeastern guys in Bert Merlone before Pedro. A lot's made. It's a college baseball environment, really. It's a college baseball event. You have guys like Merlone, like Pedro. Jared Carabas from Barstool Sports is here. You have Daniel Aaron Coe from the mayor's office. But for the most part, a lot of the top college baseball players in the Northeast region.
Yes, and we have Lindsay Barrow, first female. This is her second game. First female ever to play in this game.
She's expecting to pinch run tonight. I talked to her a little bit before the game, and last year they had her in a Red Sox jersey. This year, Steve Buckley, who puts this whole thing together, was able to get her a Yogi Berra jersey.
Yes.
She's Yogi's granddaughter, so
yes. So
she'll feel a little more comfortable tonight, probably in that.
That's a lot of pressure wearing a Yogi Berra uniform. I don't care who you are.
See Teddy from Quincy. He pitched for the Harwich Mariners of the Cape League. A couple Harwich Mariners in this one. I'll be a little biased towards them, I won't lie. I was their play-by-play guy 2 summers ago. But the whole Cape League, they were just wrapped up. Fantastic, fantastic atmosphere.
Yep.
I recommend it. You're actually wearing a Chatham Anglers hat, I just realized.
Yep, yep.
Next time, next summer, I highly recommend if you've never been down there, get down there for a game or two.
Yes, you have to go. And it doesn't matter where you're on the Cape. If you're up Chatham way or all the way down to Falmouth, you can catch a game from Chatham to Falmouth, even Brewster to Falmouth. So, or in Orleans, everywhere. So there's no excuse when you're on the Cape to get to a Cape Cod League game.
So here we go. Teddy Rodliff facing off against Max Burt. I wonder what's going through Teddy's head here. He's a Quincy kid. He's the opposing starting pitcher of Pedro Martinez. Burt fouls that one straight back.
He's got the 1948 Cleveland Indians uniform, Bob Fella.
And it's tough. Well, we've seen some pretty tame ones so far. But when we get into it, a lot of these uniforms don't have numbers.
Yes.
They may not have the name on the front. It may just be an image. This one's popped up. Not going to see a lot of pop fouls, at least straight up tonight. There's netting directly over the plate. Really not going to see a lot of foul outs at all because the crowd here at St. Peter's Field is right up on the line. There is no room anywhere else.
There is no. We're at St. Peter's Field in Cambridge, Mass, and it's a great little field tucked right in the neighborhood here. Way off.
Hit foul. And you can see there just how packed, not this shot, but how packed the crowd is. So a little bit on the side. You can see there in the left, the crowd standing beyond the left field fence. They took down some of that shading on the fence so people could see through.
By far the biggest crowd that we've had.
That one just misses. Oh, no, he got him. Another late call from home plate umpire Dave Tresca. You know what? Late, but I don't mind. I like the suspense.
Yeah.
The umpires are Dave Tresca behind the plate, Roger Morrison at first. We'll talk about Morrison a little later. Scott Cassidy at second and Brendan McCarthy at third. 11th year in the game for Dave Tresca, but Roger Morrison, 21 of the 24 games he has been an umpire for this one.
Yes, 24th year, and he's been here almost all of them. And actually, I think the first year was more of a pickup game. I don't think there were any, we'll talk to Steve later on, but I don't think there were any umpires that game. So I think he's covered almost all of them.
Here's Lou Merlone. I think this is the oldest uniform in the collection. He's in the 1890 Boston Beaneaters uniform, if I'm correct, as he swings and misses there.
And he's always worn this one. This is Lou's, what, fourth or fifth year playing.
He's a regular.
Yep.
I heard him talking on the radio this morning on a show on WEEI. So he hits that one foul. And, you know, Christian Fourier was giving him the business about getting a hit. He said he just wanted to barrel a ball up. That was his goal. But he's more worried about the field. He says he's a very picky fielder. And with the lights, you don't know where the ball's going to hop. He worries about playing third base in this game more than hitting.
He's done great in the field the past couple of years. Yes.
Right back up the middle, and it rolls to second after it hit off the glove of Rodliff. The throw to first, and Merlone is retired for the second out. My apologies if I'm late on some of these calls. Again, the crowd is so packed in. There are fans completely in front of us, and they get loud now as Pedro Martinez comes to the plate. Now, the Red Sox were the only American League team Pedro ever played for as he calls his shot. The Expos, the Mets, and the Phillies, I believe that's all of them.
Rodliff's going to be a little bit nervous here.
Oh, I would be. You don't want to come up and in on Pedro.
He can't stop smiling. He's got the eye going.
Rodliff's not grooving him anything. That one had some pop.
Yeah, Pedro's got the smile. He's got a little surprise for him.
Oh, he's going to bunt.
Oh.
Points down to Matt Nuzzo at third. Nuzzo is charging in.
You can show Maddie's awake there.
See this again. He almost had that.
Yeah.
That would have been a great punt. He was going to get on top of it, just a little late.
Now he's going to hack now.
The 1-1 to Pedro.
Ooh, a little late. A little late. He's getting the timing down.
It's a bold move to call your shot, then bunt. Only Pedro could get away with that.
He was only about the psychological game. That was his game.
So 1-2.
Oh, tried to groove him one, missed it there.
And it's not easy for Pedro, who probably hasn't hit in longer than he's thrown. He's got to face a sidearm in Teddy Rodliff.
And I don't think he's been in the cages warming up for this. Oh,
he bounces it back to the mound. Coming in is Rodliff. He barehands it, throws to first in time to get him. So 1-2-3 inning for Teddy Rodliff. Pedro's retired. 1 inning in the books here at the Old-Time baseball game.
Good job by Pedro to get the bat and the ball there.
So we don't know if Pedro's going to come back out and pitch. Steve Buckley said at Media Day last week, Pedro's goal is to play 1 inning and hit. But a couple years ago when Oil Can Boyd played in the game, he was scheduled to pitch 1 inning. He threw 4.
Yeah, and Pedro only threw maybe, 15 pitches that first inning. So it's up to him, see how he feels. I know they got someone warming up in the bullpen. I can't see who it is yet, but I know they've got guys ready. But
again, it's just so packed. It's difficult to see out here, which, given what the cause is for, it's remarkable.
And Pedro will stay here, too. He's not going to just pitch an inning and leave. He's going to stay and hang out in both dugouts.
He's John Martin's ride, and John's the manager for the home team.
So ride home, yeah.
He's stuck. John, if you notice in the pregame wearing an Angels jersey, the reason he's not in a Red Sox jersey, and they talked about in the pregame, he helped start Little League here in Boston.
Yeah, the South End now.
South End Little League, and he managed the South End Angels for a number of years, so requested to be put in that Angels jersey. We have, remember the Angels in front of us. He's wearing the Angels hat. 30 years.
30
we have
years. Wow.
Somebody who coached with him right here.
Awesome.
And Pedro's going to take the mound again. Let's take a look back at that first inning while he warms up. Oh, no, we're going to take a look back at him at the plate, and he almost got that one down.
He did a good job. He did a good job at the plate. So, yeah, he'll be feeling it tomorrow, though.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we still got the red glove. That was always, I always liked that because so many tan gloves, black gloves, brown gloves, whatever. The red, and at one point a blue glove. That's just Pedro. He does everything a little differently, but it works for him.
Yep, and he's getting loose now. I think you might see a little bit more pop this inning.
He went with the curveball mostly, the off-speed stuff.
Yep.
In that first inning. I talked to Lindsay Bear actually earlier this week about what she thought of facing Pedro. And what she said is he doesn't need to throw hard anymore because he can still place the ball exactly where he wants, and that's what we saw in the first inning.
Yeah, he's got such natural movement on the ball that,
Nick Herzog will lead things off in this inning. Herzog, one of the Division III representatives in this game from UMass Boston. A program that went to regionals down in Harwich this year, had a very successful campaign. And I don't know if you've ever been down to Monin Park out there on the pier by the JFK Library. One of my favorite venues I've ever called a game at UMass Boston. What they have is, it's an exact replica of Fenway dimensions-wise. They have the wall out and left and everything, but it's a turf field and it's right on the water. You look over the outfield wall, you see Boston Harbor, and then you see the skyline.
Yep.
Just an incredible picture there at UMass Boston where Nick Herzog plays. He was a sophomore last year. He had 291 for the Beacons.
He's got the 1963 Sandy Koufax jersey of the Dodgers. That's a lot of pressure on that one, too.
More pressure if he was on the mound. This one's falling fast, and we have our first hit of the game. It comes from Nick Herzog.
You can officially say he got a hit off Pedro Martinez.
That is true. Depending on how Pedro does, he could get the last hit off Pedro Martinez. This is Connor Such.
Now batting the catcher, Connor Such.
A catcher from Atkinson, New Hampshire. So we go from Division III to Division II in Merrimack College. That one's low for a ball. It's tough for college baseball in New England.
Yeah.
You know, you play in the South. The season starts mid-February. There's still snow on the ground up here.
Well, you play. Yeah, they start out in Florida,
Right.
which is nice, but then you go from 70-degree weather down to 30-degree weather. It's just tough.
You get so few home games as Pedro gets him with the fastball there. That might have been his hardest pitch of the night.
That was a nice pitch on the corner there.
And as there are some Division I schools in New England that start to let baseball go and evaporate their programs at the Division II and Division III levels, New England is one of the stronger regions.
Yeah, it's some really good ball.
Skied in a right. Coming in, it's going to fall in front of Monagle.
Oh, they got the force at second. They got him at, yeah, they got the force at second now.
That's tough for Herzog.
Yeah, he had to wait to see if that was going to be caught. By the right fielder, but didn't catch it. But the force on at second. That was one down here. Take a look at that. Pedro working the outside corner.
Not happy with himself.
Nope.
Tell by the look on his face. Everybody's getting under it so far.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hit the home run off Pedro.
Will Shackelford at the plate.
Shackelford he's a Cape native, Orleans, Massachusetts, attends Tufts. Grounds this one to the shortstop, could be two. The flip for one on to first, the double play. Finally gets one on the ground. Pedro is out of the inning. He allows one hit, but nobody left on and no run score. We're still scoreless here through 1.5 in what traditionally is a low-scoring game. We had a very low score last year, a couple of home runs. One from the man who will lead off the bottom of the second in Gordy Gronkowski. That's Gordy Gronkowski Jr., Rob's younger brother. When we showed up last year and I saw that name on the roster, I thought it was Gronk Sr. I thought it was Papa Gronk.
Well, we're using wooden bats, which I love, and I know you love them too, which just makes the game so much nicer. It moves it along quicker, my one pet peeve about college baseball in New England, and college baseball in general, is just the aluminum bats. Its time has come and gone, I think, for aluminum.
And they've toned them down now with the BB core, and that's a whole discussion. But
I mean, you had to. Those. If you were a pitcher, you took your life in your hands when they were really fine-tuning those bats. So, but even still with the BB cores, they're still coming off fast.
It looks like Pedro's just about done. He's taking his pictures. You saw him taking a picture with the umpire was holding the trophy, the Bill Noveline trophy. That was first base umpire tonight, Roger Morrison. We mentioned he's in his 21st year. The Bill Noveline Award was started last year, and it's for a non-player who contributes the most to the game. And I think easy call there with Roger Morrison.
Yeah. And let's not forget why we're here. This is a fundraiser, and everybody here working the field, from the field crew, the city of Cambridge doing a great job, is on their own time.
Immaculate field today.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. But we're here for a fundraiser and for ALS, which this is almost the third year in a row for ALS, and John Martin this year, a long-time cameraman, and we actually will talk about some videos that he has that we'll show later on that are for sale, and a lot of stuff going on. And actually, too, here at the fundraiser, we have a table of silent auction. Tons of great stuff too.
Still plenty of time to get down here if you're in the Cambridge area.
Yeah, come on down. Take an Uber down.
They did close Sherman Street, so yeah, Uber is probably the way to go.
Take an Uber down, and Pedro will be here. You'll be able to catch. He's going to hang out in the dugouts, back and forth.
Tom Werner, Sam Kennedy both here. Tom Karen hanging out in the crowd. First pitch from Bert to Gronkowski. Misses low and inside for a ball. Gronkowski plays, what do you call it, amateur ball here in Boston.
Yep. He's got Mike Timlin's number, but a 1960 Sox jersey.
That's up for a ball. That jersey, so when Timlin played a couple years ago, they didn't have one that would fit him.
Yes.
And that's how that jersey got in the rotation. So Gronkowski, the biggest player this year, he'll wear it.
It's still a little baggy on him, too.
The one Gronk brother who did not play college football, he played college baseball. That was at Jacksonville. And then went on to a short minor league career before coming back to Boston. The 1-2 from the lefty. That's hit hard on the ground, gloved at first. And then he tags the bag for the first out of the inning.
Nice play, hard hit ball by Gronkowski.
Joe Bramante, and there's one of those more untraditional jerseys. It's a road jersey, but it's blue with blue pants, white pinstripes, no number. That's a 1922 Wichita Falls Spudders jersey.
No, you got this one's.
I was talking at first base.
Yes.
Yes, sorry about that.
This one is special. Ted Williams from the San Diego Padres, 1937.
The Padres, a minor league team before they made it to the MLB. That's where Ted Williams, in his hometown, played his minor league ball.
Pacific Coast League. He had 23 homers that year too.
Martellini hits this one a hard line drive. That's going to be a base hit. Gian Martellini, part of a big BC contingent here, Boston College. He led the Eagles in most offensive categories this year. As a catcher, he's going to be a guy that's going to be drafted when his time comes. Speaking of the Boston College Eagles, Anthony Maselli wearing the number 3 Pete Frates jersey. So we go back-to-back Eagles.
As we said, every jersey has a significance, so that will always be worn by a BC player in this game.
Andrew's here tonight, Pete's brother. He's wearing a Red Sox Pete Frates jersey. Understand Pete's watching at home. We want to give a shout out to him. Hope he's doing well, him and the family. And this is Alex Barth, Eddie Basile, Nick Rojas with us roaming around in the crowd. You're watching the old-time baseball game. We are raising money for ALS TDI and John Martin. Maselli, did he hold up?
I think he went.
I checked down, and yes, he did.
Yes. And with the big crowd comes just big money raised for ALS too, so it's just a win-win situation. Yeah.
What a weekend it's been. Tom Caron talked about it before the game, between the Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon, past couple days, and now the old-time game here tonight. This one's hit foul behind us onto Sherman Street.
Just shows you about just New England, just a giving region of this country, man. It's just so much. They give so much. These people here are so great.
That could be two. No, it gets under the glove. Backing up at second base was Johnny Welch. He flips to first for 1 out, but Martellini up to second avoids the double play.
Nice coverage by the pitcher there to get over there.
So 2 outs, runner on second, and the batter will be Cam Walsh.
No score. It's a perfect night too. Perfect night. No wind. Sun setting.
Oh, right back to Rodliff, and he makes the grab for the final out. Nods his head coming off the mound, and if that's the end of his night, what a way to end it.
He looked like Tuukka Rask there, glove.
So again, we're here raising money for ALS TDI. For more information on the cause, you can visit oldtimebaseball.com. If you're watching, I guess you're already on oldtimebaseball.com. So.
And you can go to the website, the Old Time Baseball website, and there it is. Beautiful.
Ooh, that reaction time. Seriously, like a goalie, yeah.
Look like Tuukka there.
Low glove side makes the stop.
There's a good shot now of, that's the first base side, looking down the first base side. And Pedro must be in the middle of that scrum right there.
I would imagine that's Pedro or John Martin, yeah. So we have a new pitcher, try to figure out who that is. Looks like, I can tell it's a Detroit Stars jersey.
Yeah, like this is the first year they've used 70 jerseys.
70 jerseys, wow.
And it's gonna be crazy with everyone in and out of the game tonight. But they're all great jerseys, and we'll talk about those too. How they are only worn twice a year, these jerseys.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to our little booth here, and I'd love if we could turn that camera around. You can kind of see just how packed it is. We may have the best vantage points of the crowd of anybody.
This crowd by far, I mean, we've got to be, I'd say with 40% more than last year, easily.
I mean, if you're familiar with the field, it's at least, what, 15 deep from the foul line to the fence?
Yep, yeah, at least. And then behind the backstops, behind each player's bench, and left and right field too, which was never an issue. So,
well, Pedro takes his time with the media. Take a look back on what he did tonight. 2 innings thrown plus 1 at bat. He made contact.
He did a great job.
And this was everybody to his feet the first time he came to the plate. He called his shot, then tried to bunt, and ultimately grounded out back to the pitcher. Only one person got a hit off Pedro tonight. That was Nick Herzog.
Well, you know he'll be dining on that for the next 10 years, right?
You see Steve Buckley in the white shirt there on the bottom right of your screen. Steve's the one who puts this all together. We'll speak with him later.
Yep.
It's just a fantastic job now, 24 years in.
And when you ask Steve about this, he's the first one to say it's not me. It's the 50 other people that are doing this. He started this 24 years ago. It was almost like almost a joke when Major League Baseball went on strike. He decided, let's get some friends. Got on the radio. Was doing his local radio show, and a bunch of people showed up, and it was more of a baseball strike protest, exactly. So and it's grown to this. Who would have known? And it has been at St. Peter's Field every year since its inception.
Christian Rosati's the new pitcher. Just finished up his freshman year at UMass Amherst. So we've seen UMass Amherst, UMass Dartmouth, UMass Boston. No UMass Lowell representatives this year, although they do have a couple of MVPs to the Riverhawks, as this one's fouled off. MVPs in past years, that is. Yep. Rosati is facing, I believe that's Cam Monagle. It's in there for a strike.
Rosati's got a little pop on his fastball there.
When it bounces in, a very untraditional catcher stance for Martellini. That's not specific to this game. If there's no runners on, he'll do that.
You can't get much lower.
Look, the traditional catcher stance is not comfortable. I can't see how that's much better.
Well, now he's up.
Swing and a miss. The ball gets away. Good thing he was running down to first. And the throw is in time for the out. So one down for Rosati. That was Monacle. The new batter is Nachmanoff. Malcolm Nachmanoff from Tufts. First pitch is in there for a strike.
Nice little fastball hitting the outside corner there. He's working low and outside. Fooled him on the curveball.
No, we already have a substitution. Pardon me. This is Ham Schultz.
Yes.
Or no, Evan Kansarek. Sorry, it's a Ham Schultz jersey, 1941 Hollywood Stars. There's so many names and numbers going all over the place.
Yeah, now we're going to earn our money trying to...
Right. Evan Kantarczyk is the batter, and this is grounded to second on a hop to first for the second out. And last year, at least, you could see who was on deck. But again, with the overflow of the crowd,
right, cannot
see the on-deck circles, can't even see the dugouts. So we're seeing the batter the first time you are when he comes up on the screen.
We're watching it like you are.
Teddy Radcliffe.
Teddy Radcliffe is the batter. He's already thrown a couple of innings in this one. Takes the first pitch low for a ball.
No score. Which, like we said, we're probably we're gonna have a low scoring game.
That one's taken for a strike. Looked like he was taking all the way. There's a DH in the America East, as in most of college baseball. So Rodliff, not batting on a regular basis.
No. Looks like he can handle himself at the plate, though.
Falls behind 1-2.
See if he comes back with the curveball in the dirt. Ooh,
swinging and a strike 3. That was
challenge
tough.
Time. Yep.
Jammed him in on the hands. And Rodliff's retired here in the 3rd. You talked about the record number of jerseys this year. Going beyond the players even, is the managers, the coaches are all wearing jerseys. Even the bat boys they have in jerseys this year.
Everyone's got them this year.
Jack Levine, the bat boy for the home team. Didn't get a name for the away team.
And every year it just grows. Every year there's 1 or 2 that are added. There are never any that are eliminated. And sometimes, like we said earlier with Gronkowski, it's a necessity of certain jerseys for certain players, size-wise. And the material that made up too aren't the most comfortable. These are heavy wool jerseys too, so I'm sure they're glad to see the sun go down.
Now I'm wondering, maybe this is just me being picky. Where are the old-time umpire uniforms? That seems to be the final frontier for Buck here.
With the old balloon chest protector behind the plate.
By the way, if you're watching along at home, first of all, thank you for joining us. We'll have a couple people stopping by the booth throughout the evening. If you have any questions and we'll let you know who they are, but if you want us to ask them any questions, if you have any questions for us or any comments for us, use the hashtag on Twitter, @OldTimeBaseball. That's hashtag #OldTimeBaseball. We'll be more than happy to chat with you.
And Nick Rojas is still up. Where is there? He is.
He's right in front of us. He looks like he's busy. I think he's got his eyes on somebody here.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure it out. Looks like it's somebody on the home team. It might be Pedro.
Maybe. I heard he's got an in with Pedro. He's great. He has not stopped smiling since he's been here.
Now he's having the time of his life.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back next year. It was funny. I was talking with Ben Weiss before the game, and they knew. I don't know if I should be saying this, but they knew Pedro was gonna pitch for probably, I don't know, a month or 2 before the announcement came, and so Ben and only a few others knew, and he had to keep quiet. And he couldn't even tell his wife. So he had to keep that secret for about a month. Not telling his wife, didn't tell anyone. He was killing him until they actually had the press release. So
we know how secretive these teams are with transactions. And look, you had, who was it? Tom Warner said before the game, they're here scouting Pedro for September 1st call-ups.
Yep.
And as we get ready to watch new pitcher Ryan Covell, we're going to go to Nick Rojas, who is with a second-year member of the old-time baseball game, somebody you may be familiar with. Nick.
Thanks so much, Alex. I'm here with the certified G, bona fide stud himself, Jack Roberts. How you doing today?
Doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right now. On the Section 10 podcast that came out today, you called your shot, if you want to call it that. You called your shot that you'd strike out again. Went 0 for 2 last year. What are you hoping for this year?
Well, so last year I said I was going to hit a home run, and I struck out twice. So now if I say I'm going to strike out, maybe I'll hit a home run. That was the logic there, is the reverse jinx, classic reverse jinx. That's what I'm going for.
Tried and true theory, honestly. Now, serious note here. This is such a special game. What makes it special for you to be here?
I mean, the history, how Steve Buckley puts this together every single year, and it's always for a different cause. He's always trying to spread it out to different people and communities that are in need of support. And I love the fact that so many people come out to support it. It's not just the players on the field; it's all these people that are here tonight. So it's an honor to be asked to play back-to-back years.
Absolutely. And one final thing, the big theme about tonight really is how the Boston baseball community has rallied around ALS. You know, you've had some guests on your podcast that's talked about that. What is so special about this community?
Yeah, it's great. You know, and you mentioned, you know, the ALS, and it's, you know, Pete's a good friend of mine. Andrew's a good friend of mine. It's a terrible disease, and, you know, I don't know John personally, but I've gotten to know him through the people that work at Nesson, and I've heard many stories about him. He's a great guy, and I'm glad that, you know, so many people are out here tonight to be able to support him and his family.
All right, and one final thing before you go there. What do you think about your jersey today? You're wearing the Hawaiian Islanders.
I mean, Buckley, I mean, you told me I was going to be on Pedro's team and I was on the road team. So, I mean, I like the jersey. It looks nice, but, I mean, I just don't like being lied to, Buck. So maybe next year.
Maybe next year. All right, well, good luck today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
So I want to know why Jared isn't wearing a Pablo Sandoval Red Sox jersey now that that's technically a throwback. We all know his affinity for the Panda. The new pitcher, like I mentioned, is Ryan Covell. He's wearing a, what year is that? 1940 Chicago Cubs jersey, 21, Lenny Marullo.
And Lenny spent a couple years here in the past at the Oldtime baseball game, too.
So first batter for Covell is a walk. Picks over to first.
Leadoff walk, never good in an inning.
And he throws the ball away.
Yeah, Covell's a little nervous, I think.
That was a vicious pickoff move for a righty.
He's a little bit nervous.
It's got to be tough to control that.
The crowd, I mean, I don't know if it's me, but it looks like the crowd's getting bigger as this game goes on.
That's Cam Monagle on first base. He's wearing a Mickey Mantle Yankees jersey. That's in there for a strike. The new batter, I believe, is Malcolm Nachmanoff.
Everyone will play tonight, at least an at bat. So we'll be in and out of figuring out who's who here. But look at that! I mean, the crowd is just getting bigger and bigger.
And back to the base. I almost said goes Mantle, goes Monagle. I guess that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah, yeah. Sort of a compliment to be confused with Mickey Mantle, right? I would take that as a compliment.
Absolutely, on a baseball field especially. Here's another look at that pickoff move. Ball ultimately got away, but if he can control that for a right-hander, vicious.
Quick step off, you get quick feet. Just quick step and throw. 3-1. He's having trouble finding a plate, Covell, right now. I think he's a little lamped up right now.
It's another side armor, too, from the road team. Second one after Teddy Rodliff.
Works the count full. Medford Mustang alum.
Look at that behind the. Last year you could see the street. You can't see the street this year behind the plate.
No, it is a full house. And they talked about it. We were talking with Steve earlier, and they were saying how they were meeting with the city of Cambridge for probably 2 months before this game, just to work the logistics out, because they knew it was going to be a crazy scene here, and it's turned out to be that.
This year especially, the city of Cambridge has gone above and beyond. They've left certain lots. They closed certain lots down during the day so people could park later on coming to the game. They've closed the street down behind us for about 3 blocks. Which, again, if you're going to come down, there's still time. I definitely recommend an Uber. Swing and a miss for a strike.
Yeah, don't take your car. Don't even try to take your car because you won't find a parking space.
The Cambridge Police Department is out here. They're doing a fantastic job keeping this crowd together.
Yeah, and everyone, it's a great crowd. It's just a great atmosphere right now.
Runner bluffs to third, now goes back. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. For strike 2. The batter, I believe, is Eric Ramirez. No, pardon me, Max Burt. Would be Burt's second at bat. Bluffs a man back to second. That one's low for a ball. Now, Max and his dad, Bill, they were the first father-son combination to play in the game. That was last year. No Bill this year.
Yep.
This is the kind of game where even 24 years in, you're going to get those firsts coming up often. There's always going to be, and that's just baseball, the little intricacies.
Yep. And that's what Steve tries to incorporate into selecting the team and the players is these little idiosyncrasies, sons, and you know, some connection to some sort of baseball connection. He works it in, which is makes it you know what it is today.
Here's the 2-2. Just missed low.
Covell in a bit of a jam. No outs, first and second.
Monaco getting a little antsy on second base.
Yeah.
That just missed ball 4. Not a lot of help for Covell. When you're not throwing strikes to start, the umpire is not going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well, he's walked the bases loaded, which is not a good thing.
Orazio Azzarello is the manager opposite John Martin. His pitcher's in a bit of a jam here. We'll see if he comes out to talk to him, maybe calm him down. His assistant coaches are Mike Powers and Owen Carlson, who we heard from before the game, coaches with John Martin in the South End Little League.
Yep. Ozzy himself's a great coach. It was lucky to coach with him a couple years ago for a few years, and he's coaching Medford now, Medford High.
So no outs, bases loaded. We saw it earlier this week with the Red Sox. Triple play, perhaps? It's in play.
It's in play. I don't think these guys, there's not a lot of speed out there right now.
We already had a double play. That's chopped down the line, but foul. How about Rafael Devers? 20 years old, knew exactly what to do with that ball. No hesitation.
Yep. He couldn't hesitate. Even you know, the slowest runner in the league coming down the first baseline still had to go bang, 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 and it was perfect.
That one is lined, but again, foul. You got to be on your game, and you see they have players in front of the crowd to help, but you can only do so much.
Well, look at the shot. We've got fans literally on the foul line. that's how many people here right now. You're in play, even though you're in foul territory. These kids they're in play. That's just how many people there are. We just can't fit anymore in this park right now.
We do have a pinch hitter trying to see who it is, and the hardest earned RBI in baseball for the player whose name is escaping us right now.
Walk the bases loaded and hit the fourth batter. So that's Covell's a little bit. I think he's a little bit rattled right now. They're trying to calm him down. It's a nerve-wracking game, believe it or not. I mean, playing in front of this many people with these uniforms, people watching it can get to you very clicky with the nerves.
And it's, Jackson Parise, so Lucas in the truck, you were right, thank you. Jackson Parise is the pitcher. It's a 1936 Brooklyn Dodgers jersey worn by Fred Frankhouse, who at the time he was wearing this jersey was managed by Casey Stengel. So another one of those little baseball intricacies that's so much fun as this one's grounded to second. Slow roller, flip to the bag, and it gets away. Runners are going to hold, but another one crosses 2-0 as the Avid Angels take the lead. Another one of these intricacies in baseball. Vin Scully is an absolute legend to begin with.
Yep.
But Vin Scully called a game in which Casey Stengel managed. And Casey Stengel was born in the 1800s. And Vin Scully was still calling games in 2016. Amazing.
Yeah, that's that is, when you think about it, yeah, that is amazing. And he just, when did he retire?
This is the first year in decades.
Yeah.
With no Vin Scully. And he said he had no interest in going to baseball after he retired. The only place he ever wanted to go as a fan was Fenway Park. He never wanted to go to a baseball stadium if he wasn't working. In there for a strike to Gordy Gronkowski. Gordy's 0 for 1, but he ripped a home run over the left field wall last year. One of 2 home runs in last year's game, which were the first home runs seen here in the Oldtime game since 2011. So a bit of a power surge last year. And you have a pitcher who's struggling to get it over. He may groove him one. Gordy's a guy who can put it out.
He's going to, yeah, he's not going to take a walk.
No, he wanted to put that one out, but you need a driver, at least a 3-iron to put that pitch out.
Yeah, that was not on the tee either. That was buried in the rough, that one. Now, if he throws something fat, Gordy will definitely turn on it. Tried to back him off a bit there. Gordy's not in a hitter's count yet.
Fouls it back to the screen. He's going for the fences. If he hits this ball, it's going to Brookline.
He's not getting cheated. This might be his last at bat. He's going to go down and swing.
Here's the 1-2. And that's blocked.
Didn't bite on the low outside curveball.
I'm pretty sure that's still Such behind the plate. Away again. So now Gordy's not helping him out. He could have already been on first base.
Yeah. Cavell's not helping himself out. He's not even, when he's missing, he's not even close right now.
I will say a home run in this game, and we talked about the overflow of the crowd. Last year there's nobody out there on the left. A home run ball, somebody's going to catch that this year.
Oh, guaranteed. Yep, that'll be a silver man.
Instead, he hits it on the ground. Gloved at second, flipped to second for one, on to first. The second double play of the game for the road team as they get themselves out of a bit of a jam. No, those were the first outs of the inning, pardon me.
Yep.
The first outs of the inning. After a couple of walks, it's looking like the Red Sox, what was it, 5th inning the other night. Another look at this one. A chopper to second. That's Johnny Welch at second base. And they go 4-6-3. Runner moves over to third. As Covell tries to work himself out of this with just 2 runs of damage. Here's the pitch. That one misses for a ball. This is Gian Martolini, his second at bat, the catcher from Boston College. Not surprised to see a lot of Boston College guys in this game. 2 years ago, ALS was also the cause. That was for Pete Frates.
Yep.
And
Pete was here, too, for that. And great turnout there, too, for that game.
Boston College baseball very involved with the Pete Frates Fund, the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Yep. I'll tell you, the money it's raised because of him is amazing.
Did you do an Ice Bucket Challenge 2 summers ago?
I didn't know, but I was probably the only one who didn't. Did you?
I did. I got flack because what I did was I dumped the bucket on my head and I jumped in a pool because I thought it would be funny. I thought it was like the extreme Ice Bucket Challenge. And everybody said that it defeated the purpose because I didn't feel all the ice cold water on me.
Did you have ice in the bucket?
Yeah, no, it was
was it actually ice water or was it just cold water?
No, it was ice water. There was probably more ice than water.
All right, good.
It hurt. But I guess jumping in a pool nullifies it. It was a cold pool, too. That's up and away for a ball.
Tell you what, go jump in the beach in Maine right now.
Oh, my
50-degree weather. That'll.
I heard they were telling people to stay out of the water up there this weekend.
Yes. What, between the sharks and the cold? One of the two?
I think a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah.
Ground ball back up the middle. It's been a busy game at second base for Johnny Welch. He can't get to that one. Another run scores. It's now either 3 or 4 to nothing. 4 to nothing.
4 to nothing.
Our scoreboard's a little quicker than theirs. And in what's usually a low-scoring game, it's going well as Lindsey Bear is going to come in and pinch run. Lindsey works for MLB.com and is involved in the Yogi Berra Museum. I got a chance to talk to Lindsey actually earlier this week. She came on my podcast. Fantastic in terms of walking the line between reporter and fan, which is so tough to do for so many people. She nails it right on the head.
Yeah.
She is excellent. And of course leans Yankees. But we had a great series to talk about, another series this week, and hopefully she'll join us. We can talk about that a little more.
Quite the softball player in her day, too.
Yeah. This is Anthony Maselli wearing the Pete Frates #3 Boston College jersey. Now, some of these jerseys are replicas. You know, they aren't actually 40, 50, 60 years old. I'm pretty sure that is a jersey that Pete Frates did wear.
Yes. Yeah, that's one of the newer ones. How you doing, man? Good. I would say probably the oldest ones are 21 years old. Some of the original ones, 21, 22 years old. 20 years old. There's Lindsey.
She's ready to go. She's locked in.
I know. She's going.
That was the pitch to run on. She missed it. Low in the dirt. Yogi not known for his base running. So not necessarily a family trait.
Nope.
Here's the 2-1. There's something Bob Ellis, longtime announcer of the Lowell Spinners, likes to refer to as catcher's speed.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you're a catcher.
You're not slow. You just have catcher's speed.
See how she does with her secondary lead there.
Here's the 3-1. Skied into right field. Coming in, can't read it in the lights, coming out from second base and making the catch is Johnny Welch. I think he had a hand in every out that inning.
Yes,
Johnny Welch.
Yeah, turned a double play.
And they do get out of it. The road team does, but not after surrendering 4 runs in the bottom of the third. So we're a third of the way through this one, and now the bats will have to wake up. John Martin's squad thoroughly in charge here.
Yep. Let's see if they try to get a little bit aggressive, if they get some base runners. It's been a quiet night for Rabbit.
Let's take another look at this one, and that goes to what Lou Merlone said on the radio earlier today. The lights here at St. Peter's Field are a little deceiving.
Yeah.
The good thing, though, nobody collided. That's what you don't want to see in this game. They called the ball. Fundamentals were there.
Never seen an injury here. Everyone's, in considering some of these guys don't play on a regular basis, it's been pretty much injury-free. As you can see, that's looking down the left field line, just a full house.
And it's as much, if not more, packed on the other line.
Yeah. Tons of kids here tonight.
New pitcher is Ben Murphy. He's wearing a Cincinnati Reds Frank Robinson jersey. Robinson, 10 of his 21 Hall of Fame years in Cincinnati. Also became the first African-American manager in the major leagues. Ben attends Skidmore College.
Miss Massachusetts there too.
I'm sure Nick will be over to talk to her shortly. She pops up everywhere. She's very involved. I see her at Revolution games, working those.
She's handing the, maybe you should wear that. Put the banner on, get a couple pictures.
Oh, I would just sully that title. That wouldn't even be fair.
I think he'd look good in it. Match your blue shirt. I think it would look nice.
As Murphy gets ready to throw, he was All Liberty League honorable mention at Skidmore as a junior. He just wrapped up his senior season. It's from Andover, right up the road. Looks like Anthony Martellini's night is done. He just walked by us. As Murphy gets ready to throw. His first pitch is grounded foul.
He is over the top with that delivery.
third baseman now is Joe Jacobs.
This is, I believe, Eric Ramirez again. It's like a Baltimore something jersey. That's hit hard and grabbed at third base.
There's a rocket down the line.
That was a heck of a snag.
Thank God he caught that, because there was some fans behind him.
That's Joe Jacobs. He's wearing a Pawtucket Slaters jersey.
Yeah, that one's on loan, actually. Nice ups there. That's on loan from Pawtucket for tonight, as they had their little old-time game yesterday.
The Slaters were actually the Boston Braves farm team, but they played at McCoy before the Paw Sox did. Jacobs from Emerson College, so more D3 representation. It's McCoy's last year. That kind of bums me out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a terrific little ballpark.
It is. What do you think's going to happen? Worcester?
See, I've
Brockton?
heard Malden really wants a team.
Okay.
I think Worcester's a possibility.
Yep.
I think Pawtucket's the most realistic.
Yep.
It just makes sense. You know, Providence, no offense to Nick Rojas, who works for the Friars, is this one eats up Jacobs. He throws to first. That's going to sail high. Yep. And the runner is safe, Johnny Welch. No offense to Nick Rojas, who works for Providence, but Providence, in a way, the AAA city of Boston, the minor league city. He nods. He's knowing. I'll tell you this. Friars and Eagles, who won more games in Hockey East play this year? Saying the Eagles. Yeah. So, you know, they basketball, though. It's all Friars in basketball.
That's right, absolutely. Except for when we play the Eagles, then it's the Eagles again. But we're not going to talk about the past here.
We're not going to talk about Eagles football either right now.
Yeah, Providence undefeated against Boston College in football.
Not lost to them in decades.
Yeah, I think Providence, Worcester. The Malden one interests me just because, like, it's out of nowhere.
Yeah, well,
relatively out of nowhere. That runs in and hits him. Second hit batsman of the game.
I like Brockton too. I mean, Brockton's a nice city.
Well, they have that stadium there.
Yeah, it's ready, set to go.
What is it, Campanelli Field, I believe?
Campanelli Field, yeah. I mean, it's ready to go.
I'll say McCoy, though, just, you know, so many kids, I know my generation, even older, the Boy Scout camp out at McCoy Stadium in the outfield. You set up the tent. They put a movie on the big screen. Just a great, you know, that's something I still remember. I still look back on.
Yeah, yeah.
The barbecues out in right field. It is probably a little dated. It is probably about time for it to go, but a true New England baseball landmark.
But that's part of minor league baseball, you know.
Right.
And with the Lowell Spinners too, they do such a great job catering to the kids, you know.
Lasher was just rated one of the best, probably the best stadium in minor league baseball.
Yep.
Everybody doing such a great job up there. I've done some games for the Spinners there, and for the Riverhawks up there. It's where UMass Lowell plays, and the Spinners staff and the Lasher staff, they do a fantastic job.
No, it's a great little park, great atmosphere there. And for the dollar, what you get for the dollar to bring your kids there, you know, you get you well worth your money's worth there. Murphy working hard this inning. Second and third with 2 outs, going to try to get out of this jam.
Again, I'm Alex Barth. He's Eddie Basile. We are live from Cambridge, Massachusetts, bringing you the 24th annual Old-Time game to benefit ALS TDI and John Martin, former Nesson cameraman. You can visit ALS TDI's website to learn more. And I was talking to some of the doctors and some of the spokespeople. It's ALS.net, by the way, to visit their website, ALS.net. Talking to some of the doctors and those involved as the inning comes to an end with 2 stranded as the road team fails to answer. What they're doing, it's not necessarily just ALS treatment. They're working on ALS prevention.
Yeah.
And that level of biomedicine to me is just that people can get that so in depth with the human body blows my mind.
Yeah.
Truly fantastic work being done over there.
But talk about a disease that is just what it does to what it does to you, what it does to your family. It's just and the sad thing is, we've come so far with different cancers, curing them, but with ALS, we're still in its infancy, trying to.
I think we're going to throw it over to Tom Karen real quick. Or not. I guess not.
All right, refresh me on my Boston comedian repertoire. Who is that?
Yeah, I was hoping you would tell me. It's not Lenny Clark. It's not Bill Burr. It's not Stephen Wright. That's all I've got. 3 fantastic comedians, 3 completely different comedians, but
it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it.
Sure, TC will tell us.
Yep.
Tom Karen this year, not that he's not always great on camera, but he has made Rainouts absolutely must-watch television. He has been so entertaining. Maybe I haven't watched Rainouts as much. I was at college. I was out of market and get Nesson for a couple of years, but I came back, and Tom Karen just must-watch TV.
Yeah, I love Tom. He's just professional.
Here he is.
Let's see what he's got to say.
Everybody, can you hear me? You guys all having fun tonight? Tom Karen back here from Nesson. Please give a big hand for renowned comedian, star of the stage and screen. You've seen him in the McCarthy's on CBS, and now some Netflix thing. Please welcome Jimmy Dunn.
Thank you very much, folks. How about a big hand for Tom Karen, recently voted the most popular sports broadcaster in the city of Boston. Come on, let him know, in all of New England. And the only reason he won is because nobody can spell Eckersley. Anyway, before we go back to the game, we have a very special item that we're going to auction off, and all the proceeds go to help out Johnny. This is the Oldtime baseball game 2017 Pedro Martinez baseball bat, autographed by Pedro right before he left. That is pretty cool. Hi, Miss Massachusetts. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You know Tom Karen? And who are you sponsored by? I'm sorry, all the players had sponsors. So I'm sponsored by the Two Boston Guys podcast, by the way, in case you were wondering. There you go. She's sponsored, and she said, watch Miss America on September 10th. Are you going to do that for her? Come on, let her know. It's Miss Massachusetts. All right. So we have a bat we're going to auction off. I don't know how we're going to do this. We're just going to get people to raise their hands. And
if you want to do it, raise your hand, stand up, get into it when we start asking. Yeah, ask your dad first. Let's start quick on what? Like, what are you starting at? Something cheap.
Let's start at $50. Who give us $50 for the bat? Raise your hand if we're going to get the Pedro bat for $50 I got right here. How about 100 now? Can I get 100? I got 50 here. Got 100 here, sir. How about 150? Can I get 150? 150 over here. How about 200? 200? 150 here, looking for 200. 200 right here. I got 200 right here, looking for 250 now. 250. Can I get 250? Got 200 right here. Pedro Martinez autographed Hall of Fame. 250 right here, sir. Now 300. I need 300. Can I get 300? 300 over here now, looking for 350. 350. Can I get 350? Got 350. Thank you very much, sir. 350 in the back now, looking for 400. 400. Can I get 400? 350 with this gentleman right here. 400. Can we do 400? We have now. 400 over here. 450. Can we go 450 now? Looking for 450. 425 it is, sir. 425 I'll take. Now I need 450. Can I get 450? 450, sir. How about 475? 475, 475. 475 right here. Now I need $500. 500. Can we get 500? Thank you, sir. 500. Now 525. 525. Got 500. Got 500 over here. Anybody else? We're going to sell it and go back to the game. 525. Now I need 550. 525. Now I need 550, sir. Thank you. Now I need 575. I think he's bluffing. Can I get 600, sir? 600 I got. Now I need 625. He's out. He's out at 6. 600 right here. 625, I'm sorry. Now I need 650. Can I get 650? I think he's bluffing. There you go. 650 it is. 650 from this gentleman. Now I need 675. 675. Can I get 675? All out at 650. He's out at 650. I got 650 with this gentleman right here. Anybody else? Last call. We do take a card. 655. 670.
Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. What do you got here? 675? 675. Do we have 700? Were you at 675?
We're at 675.
You at 675? You're at 670. Do I have 700? 700 over here now. I got 700 here. 725? 725. 750? 750. 775? 775. 800. 825? 825. 850? He says he's out at 825. Anybody else at 825? All right, here's what I'm gonna do. This is the worst. Listen, how many people go to charity auctions like this? This is the worst trick in the world, but I'm gonna do it. We have 1, 2, 3 autograph bats. That's how many bats he signed. 800 apiece?
800.
Is that what, a little lower than what we were at? 800 apiece?
800?
We'll take a card. 800? You in for 800? You in for 800? You in for, we got 3 sold. $800. $2,400 for ALS TDI and the John Martin Fund. Thank you, everybody. Come around. I don't know what to do now. Come around. Where's Buckley?
How about a big hand for Tom Karen, sponsored by Dr. Leonard.
I got once, and he goes, "I tell you what, we have another bat."
That was a cheap shot. Thank you, folks. Back to the baseball game.
Funny, right?
I'll say this. People say baseball has a pace of play problem. Jimmy Dunn and Tom Karen kept that auction moving. Fantastic. So we try to figure out, and believe it or not, here's how tough it is with the uniform. And the uniforms will make the game cool. But here's how tough it is. Through all that, I still don't know who the pitcher is. I can't see the uniform. No number. We're trying to figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
It is. I'm being told it's a Brooklyn jersey. So that's a start.
We've got the old-time baseball program, which is a great collector's item too. So I mean, if you're here, get one and bring it and keep it. Bring it home and keep it.
Yeah, you never know. Some of the guys playing in this game, you look back at it, all of a sudden that guy's hitting cleanup in the All-Star game.
$1,200 for that bat, huh? And actually, there was 3 of them. So.
Yeah, he split 2 bats, 800 apiece. 3 bats, 800 apiece. I think he said 2,400.
Nice.
So the pitcher, here we go. The pitcher is Sam Lara. He's wearing a Brooklyn Tip Tops jersey. We're a member of the Federal Upstart League for 2 seasons. The team was owned by the Tip Top Bread Company. That was a lot more common back in the day.
Yeah.
And imagine if we had that now. The Amazons, the Apples.
It's coming back. I mean, were they talking about it in the NBA, right? A little advertising on the uniform.
The name on the jersey, but not, you know, you have the Green Bay Packers, the Green Bay. I'm trying, like, especially with some of these company names now, is that one's high for a ball.
Soccer's doing it. Soccer has a lot of that.
So Sam is one of the few high school guys in this game. From Lawrence, Massachusetts. He's committed to St. John's.
Got a nice little fastball there. Little pop on it. Working the inside corner.
And that really fits like an old-time jersey. He's got the swashbuckler pants.
Look out. I think he caught him in the elbow. No.
You know, I got to say, all the pitchers today really embracing the spirit of Pedro Martinez. Not afraid to come inside.
Nope. Still trying to get a little loose. Still a little nervous, too. And these guys, it's just a lifetime experience for a lot of these players. Late on the fastball there, Cam was. Got a full count now. Bottom of the 4th, 4-0. Missing outside
ball
for
4.
Yep.
Yeah, a little more erratic than last year.
Yes, last year it was all pitching. This year it's, I don't want to say it's the hitting either. It's just, it's the pitching, but in the other direction.
That first one's up and away for a ball. Pardon me, up and in. This batter, we got another substitution here. Wearing your Red Sox number 6 jersey, so that's a Johnny Pesky jersey for the home team. This is Davison Perez, 1942 Johnny Pesky jersey.
Was lucky enough, I want to say, I don't know, maybe 7 years ago to have Johnny Pesky come over, sit right where you are, and talk to him for about 2 innings. And I'll tell you, the kids were swarming here for 2 innings just to get a look at Johnny and get his. He signed every autograph, shook every hand. He was just awesome.
And it speaks to who Johnny Pesky is, that kids knew who he was.
Yeah, I was really surprised that the kids. I mean, the kids were here 10 deep. And he sat right where you are and just signed every autograph, talked to every kid. It was just an amazing experience for me. It was really, really great.
If you have any questions about the game for us, or is anybody you want us to try to grab or Nick to try to grab roaming around, you can get at us on Twitter. Just use the hashtag @OldTimeBaseball.
I got a trivia question for you.
Now
you probably
you
know
stumped
this
me
one.
with one last
It's
year.
probably the same one. Do you remember what the one was last year?
I can't remember. I just remember that you stumped me, and you're going to
Okay.
stump me with it again.
It's because it's going to be probably the same one. It's
Hit me
probably
with
it's
it.
my only trivia question I know for this uniform. What's the only uniform in this game that wasn't an actual game jersey for an actual team?
This is what you asked me last year, too. It's one of the Red Sox ones, right?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Oh, is it? There's. This one's popped up in the infield behind first base. Caught for the out, one down. Is it a uniform from a movie or something?
Yep. Yep.
Ooh.
Now batting the shortstop, Max Burton.
I could go through the program, but I don't want to.
Think back old time baseball.
Is there White Sox? No, because that's an actual team.
No, that's an actual team. Try to give you a hint.
Who's in the movie?
Well, if I tell you it was in the movie, you'll get. Are you a movie buff?
Somewhat. Is it a Field of Dreams? No.
Robert is the first name of the actor.
I'm sure that there's a bunch of people watching this right now absolutely furious with me. Yeah.
He was actually shot. Part of the movie was he was shot.
Oh, The Natural.
There you go.
I'm blanking on the name of the team. Why don't you just say it so everybody can stop holding their hair out?
The Knights, the New York Knights.
Right.
Roy Hobbs. So that's all right. So next year when I ask you this one, you got to remember it.
Roy Hobbs. I'm gonna write it on my hand. I'll remember Roy Hobbs, New York Knights.
Or either that, or I'll think of a new one.
Third at bat for Max Burt. I thought it was gonna be my favorite baseball trivia question is, who is the only Boston professional sports team not to win a game at Fenway Park? And we'll see if people can get it on Twitter. I think you know. I probably came back at you last night with that one.
I don't think you did.
Hashtag #OldTimeBaseball. You only have really 3 choices because you should be able to eliminate the Red Sox pretty easily.
The only professional sports team
of the 4 major teams currently in play in Boston.
Not to win a game.
Not to win a game at Fenway Park.
Well, it'll have to be the Celtics, right?
See what Twitter says. We'll see if Twitter agrees with you.
I hope it's the Celtics, because the Bruins play the winter festival there.
Winter Classic, yeah.
Classic, yeah. And the Boston Patriots played there back in the day.
Special thanks to
Unless are you including the new New England Revolution?
I'm not including the New England Revolution. I know there's probably some people that are less than pleased with that. But yeah, although, you know, they have that removable wall now. There is soccer at Fenway. It could happen.
Drops the deuce on a nice pitch. They have been hurling there in November, and I saw the previews of that. And that is a scary sport, running around with sticks, taking full swings. I think I might be interested in going to see that. Another deuce on him.
Going to be college football there again this year.
Yeah.
This is Cal Christophery, the batter, by the way, wearing a Billy Goodman 1950s Red Sox jersey. Goodwin was a good player. 11 seasons with the Red Sox. He had 354 in 1950. Led the AL.
Just sat him down with a nasty curveball for the strikeout there.
So bases loaded, 2 outs. A big at bat here as the road team tries to keep this within reach. Take another look at that strikeout.
Look at that curve.
Nice.
Nice 12-6 curve.
Well done.
Very nice.
And the batter, I believe, is Adam Pellerin of Nesson, because that's a Cubs jersey with no number. So I'm going to guess it's the, nope, that's, yeah. I believe that's Adam Pellerin, 1918 Chicago Cubs jersey. The Cubs were and that was the last World Series the Red Sox won until the, until the sweep, as Pellerin set down looking. He's got a couple Nesson co-workers here he's going to have to answer to for that one.
Yeah, it's getting a long walk to the dugout now. A long walk to the parking lot.
4 innings in the books. It's 4-0 with the Avid Angels on top.
It's still a really good crowd here tonight.
Yeah, Pedro brought him here, but they didn't need him to keep him.
No, they're staying. We moved to the 8:30 time in the East here.
Old-time game. There's an Expos hat on somebody wearing a Carl Yastrzemski jersey. That's one of the best hats in baseball.
I like that one.
Not the all-blue Expos hat, but the white, red, and blue paneled one. Fantastic look.
A little Pedro look going there.
Well, then there's the Pedro light blue Expos jersey in terms of throwbacks.
Yeah,
I won't lie, as much as I wanted to see him in a Red Sox jersey, I kind of wanted him out there in that one tonight.
I don't think that would have gone over too well there.
It's not like they exist anymore. Yeah, I went to a Red Sox Blue Jays game about a month ago. There was a lot of Expos gear. A lot of Expos gear.
Not only that, there's a lot of Blue Jays fans that make the trek down here too. I mean, there's a lot.
Well, it would be Blue Jays fans wearing like a Blue Jays shirt and an Expos hat.
But
I talked to Jerry Trupiano, who was the voice of the Expos for a while at one point, and he couldn't give enough praise to Montreal as a baseball city. It's just that stadium was the problem.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to watch baseball indoors. That's just kind of something you can't get around.
No. Sky Dome. What's it called now? Not the Sky Dome. What do they call it now?
Oh, in Toronto?
Yeah.
Is it the Rogers Center
Rogers
now,
Center.
I believe?
It's that's the next best thing. There's Buck.
Buck chatting with Dan Findley, one of the coaches on the home team.
It's funny, you talked to Buck about this now. They'll take, after this game, this is how crazy this has got. They'll take about a month off, and then they'll start working on next year's game. I want to say probably early October, mid-October. That's when next year's game starts. And they start notifying players. They'll see who wants to come back. They'll start interviewing different groups to raise the money for whatever fund they want to choose. They'll look at a lot of people that put requests in. They go through that. So it's just literally a 10-month process that culminates tonight for just a perfect night of baseball with a full house here in St. Peter's Field in Cambridge, Mass.
Aiden Freeberg's the new pitcher from WPI, a Worcester Polytech graduate. A righty kicks and deals, and that first pitch is up.
Let's get the Kyle Yastrzemski jersey going.
Will Shackelford, the batter from Orleans, Massachusetts, home of the Orleans Redbirds. Here's one. Are you a Cape League guy? I assume so with the Anglo Saxon.
Yes, I love. I have a place in Brewster, but I'm a Chatham A's fan.
Chatham A's fan. That is probably.
I love that park.
Right, I was going to say, outside of White House Field, which I have a personal connection to, probably my favorite Cape League spot. When they had the All-Star game there last year, I went down. It was unbelievable.
Yep. There's just something about that field that I just,
the way the sun sets over right center field.
And and it's a lot. It's like this. It's beach blanket seating, but it's in like a little cup.
It's on a hill, right?
Yeah. So you've got the good view.
The Chavez Ravine of the Cape. So why were a lot of the Cape League teams? Orleans was one of them. They were originally the Cardinals. Chatham was another. They were originally the Athletics.
Yep.
had to change their names. The MLB came in and said you either have to pay the rights or change your name.
Right.
And Hyannis changed. They were the Mets. Orleans changed. Chatham changed. YD, the Red Sox, they paid in. The Bourne Braves paid in. The Harwich Mariners did not pay in. They did not change their name. Why were they the only team that was not subject to that?
Is that it?
That's the trivia question.
That's the trivia. Yeah. That's the trivia question.
It's kind of a specific question.
I would say because that a Mariner is what's the word I'm looking for?
A common
Relative to that Harwich Port is what they do, and you really can't. You can't. What's the other word I'm looking for? You can't really own that name per se.
So I always thought that with the Mets. Why was Hyannis called the Mets? Because it's the Metropolitans. It doesn't really. So the reason is the Harwich Mariners of the Cape Cod League outdate the Seattle Mariners of the Major Leagues.
Okay.
They were in Washington at the time the Harwich Mariners were founded, so copyright did not apply.
Okay, so actually the Mariners should be paying, the Seattle Mariners should be paying Harwich then.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get on that and maybe we make it happen.
Ben Layton, if you're watching. Puts together a fantastic team down there, does Ben.
Yes.
And all the general managers on the Cape. Just Ben and Biz Layton, I know I worked with them, and just fantastic family what they do down there. They've got a couple guys playing in this one here.
And it's funny, you talk to you'll talk to players. A nasty fastball.
Great pop in the mid.
Yep. You'll talk to players 5-6 years after they've played, and they'll almost talk like that was the highlight of their baseball career, spending a summer on the Cape playing ball. You know.
There's a profile on Jackie Bradley Jr., I believe on ESPN. It might have been Sports Illustrated. He's still very close with his family. He played for Hyannis.
Yep.
I believe they were the Mets at the time. No, they were the Harbor Hawks at the time, pardon me. But he still gets them tickets all the time. He still goes to see them on off days. Another strikeout there. An impressive inning, 2 strikeouts for Aiden Freeberg.
He's got the fastball working nice. Got a little movement, late movement on that.
Bellrica native, went to Arlington Catholic. Let's take a look at this. Ooh! Up and in.
That had a little tail on it. It looked like a little Pedro fastball, that little tail at the end.
I'm telling you, Pedro's got to be proud tonight, seeing these guys attack hitters on the inside. And most of these guys grew up watching Pedro.
Yeah.
There's probably a reason for that.
Yep.
Sue Flanagan, if you're here, please go to the first base.
Swings through it.
They're swinging at that high inside fastball with the late tail.
It's tantalizing, and then it has that little break.
It's got the late break.
This is Irvin Kantardzik wearing a Hollywood Stars uniform, former Pacific Coast League team, minor league team. Sam Schultz was the team's second baseman in 1941, went on to play for the Phillies. That's a great look, and the Golden State Warriors kind of have it. I don't know if we have the shot. You can see there the back of the jersey.
Yep.
The logo on the back with the number, huge fan of that look.
Yeah.
Golden State sort of brought it back. I'd like to see more of it. That one's grounded to short. Oh, what a play off the bare hand, but he can't get the throw. The ball sails into the bullpen. Gronkowski unable to pick it. And jogging down to second is Kantardzik. But a nice play just to grab that ball from Bird. It initially bounced up off of him.
Took a funny hop at that last hop, sort of. I think it had some top spin on it. Caught him in the bare hand. Take a look at that.
Oh, we have a guest joining us in the booth now, apparently. They sneak up on me from behind. So we take another look at that one, and we are joined by auctioneer, also Red Sox pre-post game host Tom Karen. Tom, welcome.
Yeah, my day job's the auctioneer. Once in a while I talk baseball.
You know, I was saying that people complain baseball is a pace of play problem. If they can play like you ran that auction.
I'm telling you, when you got a pitcher standing on the mound behind you, there's a little bit of pressure to get the thing done. You know what I mean? Guys got to throw.
I got some stuff you want to auction off. We'll split it.
It's a great idea. You're talking about having a yard sale at the house. Never just go out on the front lawn and have an auction.
There you go.
Cars driving by. Hey, how much do I got for this? How great is this, huh?
This is awesome. This is 24 years. I'm sure Steve never thought that this would, we talked about its inception where the baseball strike, this is what started. Yep, Steve.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, the 1994 when the strike was on.
Yep.
Steve said, you know what, let's protest the strike and come down here and play.
Old-time baseball back to the roots of it.
Exactly.
And so cool, and so cool that every year it's a different charity, obviously. And you know, John Martin this year, I've worked with him for 19 years, and so he's so near and dear to all of us at Nesson. And as soon as Steve reached out to us and said, you know, I'd like to talk to John about that, it was a perfect fit because he's been a Little League coach for 30 years. He had a bunch of his kids here being part of this. It's really amazing that it's kind of come full circle for John, and it's been an emotional night for him and all of us.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not have a tear in your eye? The beginning of this night was amazing. That was.
And Pedro showing up, you know, and as soon as Pedro, who knows John, you know, from the behind the scenes, behind the camera, and as soon as he found out it was for John, Pedro's like, I'm in, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And then John was like, well, we'll see if I can get over there. Pedro's like, I'll come get you. So yeah, Pedro shows up with a limo today to pick up the Martins. He's an unbelievable man, you know, for everything he's accomplished. Pedro's the real deal, as you guys saw.
Yeah, he didn't stop smiling. I think he's probably still smiling right now.
Right.
It's amazing.
What'd you think of his stuff?
You know,
hasn't
it's
lost
funny.
Too much.
So he's got a dead fish. He called it. He threw a changeup to get the double play, which worked out. And then he threw a couple of breaking balls just to keep the guys honest. But he threw mostly fastballs. Yeah, nobody thought he was going to go 2 innings, right? You figured he was going to throw 1 inning. He's going to cool down.
Yeah.
He was back out there throwing just as hard the second inning. I think he got the competitive juices flowing again.
He had a ball. He had a ball. And I'll tell you, and I don't know if you were here last year, there was probably. We're probably 40% more attendance-wise, just because of Pedro.
That's what Steve said. I said, is it going to be the biggest crowd ever? He said, it was the biggest crowd at 4 o'clock this afternoon. You know what I mean? It was already gathered. I mean, it was – because I walked around once, and it was all the way around the outfield. I mean, it's really amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And like you said, this is for a great cause. ALS is just for a great cause. We did the Peter Frady's one a couple years ago, and that was –
John and Nancy are here tonight, which is amazing and means so much. And, you know, you had representatives from the Red Sox. Sam Kennedy and Tom Warner were here. Dr. Charles Steinberg from the Paw Sox, formerly with the Red Sox, was here. So a lot of people have come out, which is a great thing for an event like this.
Yep, and with the internet now, and we've got people literally from all over the country, and actually different countries.
Do you hear from them? Do you have
we have a little bit. They're asking mostly about, we had a drone last year, and that seems to be the big question, is where's the drone?
Where is the drone?
I saw it warming up
earlier. We have
earlier.
some of it coming by later.
Yeah.
That, to me, it was, you're covering an old-time baseball game with the drone. I just found it ironic.
Not so old-time. But I'm a little disturbed by this whole, it's coming later. Like, is it got a mind of its own? I mean, what's going on here?
I was told we have footage that will be rolled out at some point.
All right.
You gotta wait for the right time. You just can't, throw it out there.
It's coming later.
I just think they're worried. Everybody's getting under everything. I don't think they wanted to get hit.
No, that's true. And stay under the drone. This is my favorite uniform right here. The yellow. And what is that?
Is that the Hawaiian one?
I think that Hawaii's green. I think that's the California. I want to say California Seals, but I know that's a hockey team.
It is a hockey team, but they were those colors.
Yes.
We were talking earlier.
I'm putting you guys to the test. I'm putting you guys look it up.
This is 70 uniforms. This is the most they've had.
70 uniforms.
Actually, that's the Enfuegos, right? That's the.
Where are the Enfuegos from?
Puerto Rico.
Oh, this is a Puerto Rican team?
Yep.
And you got a Havana team?
Yep, Havana. There's the Puerto Rican team. This pretty much everything's represented here. The Pawtucket Slate is one that's on loan from Pawtucket.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. They lent that jersey out just for tonight.
You know, and talking to some of the college players in the dugout, we were hanging out in there before, and they're really into it. You know what I mean? They really like coming together for a night. Obviously, the Pedro thing added a whole different level of buzz to what was going on in the dugout.
Yeah.
They all wanted to watch him pitch. I was watching some of the guys warm up in the bullpens there, and you know, they're throwing a little harder. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to throw well in front of Pedro. You can hear the snap of the mitt. But there's some real talent out there on the mound.
Oh, there is.
Loomer Loney he struck out. He's like, so fastball. I'm timing about fastball. Slide piece. Sit out. You know, thanks for coming.
So these guys take it seriously, and the nerves are up there too. Some of these kids get pretty nervous when they're out there.
How do you guys keep track of who you call?
You know what? That's a very good question.
Yeah,
we don't.
We have
the answer is
books.
we don't. So who's up? How do you find out?
All right, well, that's Gronkowski.
That's one of the easy ones.
Yeah,
he's unmistakable. How's he done tonight?
He's done all right. He's got a base hit early.
There you go.
He had a home run last year.
Did he?
Yeah.
He had a moonshot last year. He's got to top that,
And so we were talking about the uniforms. Now, I don't know if you know this, these uniforms are only worn twice a year, believe it or not.
No.
Yep. On tonight and the media day.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's a frozen rope.
So he's 2 for 2?
Into center. 2 for 3, I believe.
2 for 3. So not everybody bats, right? They don't have like a 75-man lineup here.
No.
They'll try to get everyone
gets in.
When they lined up in the outfield, I was like, well, yeah, it's the biggest crowd we've ever had because everyone's playing. The entire city of Cambridge is on the field.
No, we're not playing T-ball. Everyone's not getting in the bat. Thank
but
God
everybody gets in the game, obviously.
Yeah,
a lot of these
somehow.
guys play a couple of innings.
And Yogi Berra's granddaughter, Piantran.
Oh, very cool.
Which was nice to see.
Yeah, I met her before. I was talking to her before. Our own Adam Pellerin was here, as I said, and Lou Merlone was there, and just pretty amazing. It was actually, I said Lou, I don't want to, Lou didn't strike out. Adam Pellerin struck out. It was our own Adam Pellerin who said he got the 3 consecutive sliders.
Yeah, he looked fooled up there. That third one, he couldn't get the bat off his shoulder.
Yeah. Well, again, it's been a little while since he was playing for Suffolk. And, this kid was going a full ride to St. John's, he said, so thanks for coming.
You talk about the field too. Saying the city of Cambridge has been awesome. I guess Steve's been dealing with them for almost 2 months because he knew it was going to be that much of a this much of a.
They provided the detail. We had security people over watching Pedro, who of course we kind of have everything set up so he can get in and out, and he takes 2 steps out and then just goes into the crowd and starts signing autographs. Here we go. The whole thing just collapses around him. It's his world. We're just along for the ride.
Well, he just like I said, he didn't stop smiling. It's great to see that.
Who's up? What do you got?
What do we got here?
Number 7. Drew
Number 7, Cardinals uniform.
Number 7, drew a walk. I can do this.
All right, we got a book for you.
We got number 7 over at first base.
Let's go. Show us how it's done.
Trot Nixon at first. Who's at JD Drew? Take your pick, whatever it takes. And who's up at the
Well,
plate?
it's tough to see the plate. The crowd's so big, we've been saying you can't even see the plate. There's
26. Is that what we got?
Is that a Red Sox jersey? I can't. It looks like a Red Sox jersey too, right?
Oh, that's the Providence one. That's Joe Jacobs.
Joe Jacobs. How do you know that?
Right here, they got the names with the jerseys.
Right here. Okay, that's the Pawtucket Slaters one. So that's the one they loaned out.
Where do you see Joe? Oh, Joe Jacobs.
There we go.
What I was doing
kind
at the
of burying the lead, isn't it?
Well, the first one I said the name of the guy whose jersey
about
it was,
the uniform,
that's closer.
and then the guy's name at the end.
But it's not.
It's all about the uniform.
It's not Jackie Robinson. It's not Casey.
It's not Casey Jansen. It's not Eddie Pellegrini. So it must be Joe Jacobs.
It's the runners move up.
I don't think Jackie could make it tonight, but maybe next year.
In spirit. All right, here we go. Ready? Who's doing play-by-play?
Right here.
Take it away. Joe Jacobs.
The pitch to Jacobs, that's outside for a ball. No, late strike call. Count's going to go to 1 and 2. Runners on 2nd and 3rd.
Has the ump had the late call all night?
Yes.
He has. I like the drama. He's caught me a couple times, but I like the drama. Bottom of the 5th, 4-0. Here's the pitch.
Look out.
Jacobs fouls that off. That's coming right here. I see people ducking. So they set this tent up for us so he wouldn't get hit. But
how's that working out?
I think any ball's going right through this tent. Pop-ups I can get out of the way from. It's a line drive.
I know the camera guy wants no part of the tent.
Right, no,
he's out there. He's like, yeah,
he's
I'll take my
right
chances out here.
You will learn quickly. You never turn your back to the play.
I was going to say, he does realize his back is squarely to the bat.
I was instructed by the head of our broadcast today that it's my job to get in front of the equipment should a line drive come this way.
That's right. Throw yourself in front of the equipment. That's pretty much the motto of television.
Again, we're talking to Tom Caron. Tom, I got to ask you this.
Yeah.
Rain delays this year for me have been must-watch television. You guys have been incredible in the studio this year. How do you, 5, 6 rain delays in, keep that content fresh?
Well, if you watch, we really have no idea what we're doing. I mean, when you get about 45 minutes into a rain delay, that's when we start taking questions on Twitter. I mean, it goes completely off the rails. I try to give a forecast, which I got yelled at once. Because we have, we get forecasts from real meteorologists, and I'm standing in front of a green screen talking about circulating bands of moisture, things I know nothing about. And then, so yeah, the deeper they go, the stupider we get. And that's when it gets, I think, more entertaining because we're just, blabbering away like idiots. So no more rain delays. I just shiver at the very thought of rain. And there's rain in the forecast tomorrow. I don't know if you've looked. But
yes.
Red Sox. There you go. Tweet us. Hashtag
right
Ask Oldtime Baseball.
Shoot us those tweets. If Tom's still here and we get it, if you have any questions for him, too.
Well, ask him the trivia question I asked you earlier.
What's the trivia question?
All right.
The one you asked me?
Yeah.
What is the only jersey in the game?
We got to play it.
Play at the plate. There's the throw. The tag is in time. He got him.
Nice throw.
Yadier Molina could learn a thing or two right there.
Catch the ball.
Can't teach speed either.
Catch the ball and apply the tag in that order.
What'd you think? What was a better ending? That one last night or the one a couple weeks ago against the Indians?
The Vasquez walk-off, that game to me was the better game. I mean, you had that ridiculous catch over the fence, robbing Hanley of the home run. And then, you know, Moreland drawing the 2-out strikeout to continue the inning. You just don't see that. You know, the ball gets away, everybody's waiting, he gets rung up, and then he runs to first. And, of course, Vasquez hits the home run. So, to me, last night was pretty improbable. And when Matheny was coming out screaming at the ump, you're like, all right, now it's all, he's lost control. And it felt that way. And it was good for Mookie because I think Mookie needed a moment like that to kind of get things going in the direction he wants them down the stretch. But they've been fun to watch. You know, this whole they're not likable. The last month,
that's fading real quick.
Yeah.
But that aggressive base running attitude last night, if that throw is on the money, he's out.
He's out.
He's out.
He's out.
All right.
But they say we're forcing him to make a perfect play. And last night is, in their mind, reinforcement that you don't always make the perfect play.
Has that non-perfect play happened more often than not? I mean, that was
that's
the
question.
last
See,
night.
that's the thing. You don't have the stats on how many times they get the extra bag because they just get the bag.
Right.
You only know that they've run into the most outs on the bases of any team in baseball, which is bad.
Right.
But they think the runs scored, the bases
offset.
taken, offset the outs. My question is, and this is my concern, is what happens in October?
Exactly.
Teams play their best baseball in October. Teams make perfect plays in October. Are you suddenly going to change the way you play? You're not.
You're not playing the Chicago White Sox in October.
Exactly right. You're going to play the Indians or the Yankees or the Astros or the Dodgers, which would be fine because then you're in the World Series.
Right. But you develop that attitude now.
Right. They're not going to change. This is who they are, and they're going to run aggressively on the base paths. They're going to run into outs, and they're going to get an extra bag when it works. You know, JBJ said I was going all the way. Didn't matter. I was going. Yeah, it was a 2-out, 2-strike pitch, so he's running on the pitch. He had a head start, but you're right. If he fields it cleanly, he's out.
He's out. And he's
and
not even
who
close.
knows what happens.
Yeah.
So the trivia question we had.
Yes.
Get back to that.
Yes.
What is the only jersey in the game that's not representative of a professional or minor league baseball team at some point? A real team.
Well, a real team. So there's a made-up team?
Yep.
So
I didn't know this until 5 minutes ago. So
I'm going to guess it's something from Field of Dreams?
Close. Close.
That was my guess.
Go back maybe 50 more years.
50 more years? I got nothing. What do you got? What do we got? Oh, the New York. Yeah, there you go. The New York Knights. Sure. Roy Hobbs. There's a number 9 Roy Hobbs.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Cam Walsh wearing it?
Yeah, you got the jersey.
Did he request that? Do we know?
No. So that's a whole other issue of who gets the jerseys.
Yeah.
It's like now Gronkowski's a good example because Mike Timlin wore that one. He brought it out a couple years ago.
Yep.
No one's as big as Mike.
Right.
Gronk gets that one.
So, okay. Fair enough.
That jersey might not see the game next year if no one's that big.
Right.
So,
all right.
A lot of idiosyncrasies.
There's
with
a
the
Roy
jerseys
Hobbs.
there.
That's pretty cool.
Actually, it's right.
Is that
He's right on second base.
Yeah,
I figured that's why you brought it up because I saw he was at the
Knights.
plate when we initially started talking about that.
Yeah, it's like our broadcast. It was just a coincidence. Just
meant to do that. That was right on cue.
Yeah.
How's Jerry doing?
Jerry is doing well. Sorry, I'm getting texts. People want me at a bar. Jerry's doing really well. Yeah, apparently, that must be why they want me at the bar.
You're getting thirsty.
You know what? Jerry's doing really well. He's going to be at the ballpark Sunday. They're going to have a ceremony. I'm going to get to MC it, which is a great honor. Celebrating his 30 years in the broadcast booth with Nesson and, you know, his iconic stature as a broadcaster. And he'll begin chemo coming up, and they'll try to finish off the job that they started with the surgery a few weeks back. So right now he's doing well, and I think Sunday is going to be a good time for him to be there and kind of soak up the love of everybody at the ballpark. Yeah. I think that'll be a special day.
Good.
Malcolm Natchmanoff picks up a couple RBIs there.
Nicely done. Good job, play-by-play. Now we got a guy out.
Get him on the rundown.
Oh, maybe 2.
Caught up at third. No, they just get the one at second. Almost had a big rundown.
Now, he won't be coming back this year, obviously, right?
I don't know that that's official yet, but I think it's unlikely. Okay. But I don't know that that's official, and I wouldn't put anything past Jerry ever because Hey, yeah, I know he's feeling better because he's been texting me during the games the last couple of weeks. I mean, what are they doing? It's like,
I was going to say.
all right. He's back.
It's good therapy for him to get it out.
Exactly.
I love how they've been playing the best of Jerry Bits on Nets, and nothing will ever top Here Comes the Pizza for me.
The Pizzagate is the best ever. There's no doubt. Although the air guitar with him falling
off the chair,
off the tabletop there between doubleheader games, and that was a funny one for me because I was throwing it to him, and I throw it to him, and he's just laughing his tail off, and I have no idea what's going on. And I'm like, what is wrong? And then they're screaming in my ear. The producers and directors are laughing so hard. They're like, watch this, watch this. Just roll it. And it's him falling down. Thank God the window was closed. He might have gone down into the stadium. Yeah, he's one of a kind. There's no doubt about it. And, I always say he's just he's like so many people I know in New England. Just, little crotchety, little blunt, just. Yeah, if something's annoying him, he's going to say it, but he's got a heart of gold, and the loyalty is unbelievable. And so, yeah, we're a better broadcast. We're a better network with him in the booth, obviously, and we need him back. But we need him that when he comes back, he's back for good.
Yeah.
Not coming back for a few weeks. And then, so he knows that. And he's working towards being fully healthy so that he can return and get going again.
2-2 the count to Max Burke. He's played a lot. This, I believe, his fourth at-bat.
Whoa!
Bill's son, I think we mentioned earlier, him and Bill Burt became the first father-son duo to play in the game last year.
Oh, that's cool. And Tommy Larson is the son of Tom Larson, who was a Nesson anchor, who did what I do before me. He was the Bruins and Red Sox host on Nesson and TV38 forever.
Line back up the middle. The hit parade continues. This is going to be a couple more. Rounding third, coming to the plate. The throw is cut off. Sliding in is Nachmanov. And that's going to make it, what now, 8-0, 9-0?
8-0.
The route is on. All right, I got to answer the call. They call. I got to go to the bar. So
well, if you need a few bucks, so you're okay.
Yeah, no, I'll text you. What is it? Ask the Oldtime baseball game. Can you lend me a few bucks from Tom?
Story of covering baseball.
Texter, long-time listener.
Story covering baseball. You got to enjoy those nights off while you can.
Exactly right. There aren't many of them. My wife is here twiddling her fingers waiting for me. So I'll get back to it. Guys, thanks for having me on.
Tom Karen of Nesson, thank you so much for coming on.
You guys do a great job. It's fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You got Tom Karen of Nesson joining us. And yeah, how about the inning that went on when Tom was with us? He had to kind of tap out there because this has been a marathon.
I tell you. Sit down, absolutely. We get one of the original. He's one of the original old-time baseball game broadcasters here. This is before the Sun. Mr. Brownie Earl.
Before they brought in us college upstarts.
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Yeah, and actually he's going to be after your job, Alex, in a few years. So you gotta watch out. Biggest crowd you've seen here, Brownie, this year?
This is unbelievable. This is beautiful. Yeah, this is 5 times the crowd. It's such an amazing night.
Now, did you get to get close to Pedro and see him?
I did. Yep.
And you think it could be a situation like Neil Diamond plays Sweet Caroline, then half the arena leaves. No, everybody stayed.
Still here.
It is and another beautiful night.
Perfect night. Yep.
Amazing to me. The way Buck makes a call to the gods, gets the weather nice every year.
Yep.
He's got that power.
Buckley tweeted about a week and a half ago, the forecast. There's a tweet that said Saturday, August, whatever, 81 and sunny, and Buckley just tweeted, "See you all there." And it was a week and a half ahead. Trusted the forecast. One of the cockiest things I've ever seen. We're going to throw real quick here. Nick Rojas is with Adam Pellerin as we continue to talk to the Nesson broadcast crew. Nick.
Adam. All right, I'm joined now by Adam Pellerin from Nesson. How's it going tonight? How are you enjoying your experience tonight?
Oh, I mean, what could beat this, seriously? This is unbelievable. I mean, that Pedro Martinez on the mound. Obviously, we wanted to be on the same team because Pedro didn't want to have to face me. So, obviously, Pedro.
That was the big scouting report before the game. Now, this game has certainly taken on an important aspect of your life. First off, you were telling me before about playing on behalf of your dad. Yeah. How was that experience for you?
Yeah, this is my 3rd time playing overall, and back in 2013, my dad passed away, and you know, I played college baseball and played all, you know, football, basketball, baseball growing up. He was always there, and so I felt it was important to just play. And, you know, again, you know, a little older now, but wanted to get out on the field. And obviously, you know, this year with John Martin and how much he means to all of us at Nesson, and you know, this was important as well.
Now, speaking of John Martin, how special has it been to see all the people come out in support of him, players, people who he's worked with, you know, etc.?
It's fantastic, and I wish everybody could get to talk to him tonight that was in the crowd, because just a guy that always has a smile on his face, so positive, so upbeat, and a hard-working guy too. He knew how to get the job done while having a good time, and that's why he's so loved. That's why Pedro Martinez wanted to come out here tonight, because he knew John, he knew what he was all about, and now I think a lot of other people do too.
Absolutely. And final thing here, what do you think about your Cubs 1918 jersey? Spectacular colors.
Yeah, you know, this is my first time with the old Cubbies. It's timely since they won last year, but yeah, I think I can rock the pinstripes a little bit. You know, Red Sox uniform would be a little better, though.
Obviously, the good kind of pinstripes, I'd say. Thank you so much, Adam.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nick. So since we have a couple of old-time game veterans here in the booth, we've had a couple questions on Twitter. Again, if you have anything for us in the booth, hashtag #AskOldTimeBaseball. A couple jersey-related questions. I figured you guys would be the people to ask. The first one comes from Shay on Twitter. Shay wants to know who supplies the jerseys.
They're who's the company? It's a company that is out in the Midwest. I forget the name, but they I wouldn't say they custom make them, but they make them. That's what they do. And I wouldn't say custom made. This is it's a beautiful Brave jersey right there. So Buck calls up and orders them. Although now we only order maybe 1 or 2 jerseys a year, new ones. And like I said, these will go back into storage for the full year, come out in about 11.5 months again, and be worn for press night and then tonight, and that's it. So these jerseys, like I said, some are about 22 years old, some are a year old, 2 years old, but for most of them, I'd say they're, you know, 20 to 15 years old. And actually, a couple different companies make them. Buck goes out and tries to find, you know, who's actually, because these are hard to find.
Right.
And they're all wool, too. These are not nylon or cotton. These are heavy wool jerseys.
No, these are heavy. And you answered the second question. Doug on Twitter wanted to know where the jerseys go after the game. But like you said, only worn twice a year. They go into storage.
Yeah, they go into storage at a cleaners in Cambridge here. And they hold them for Buck for all year. They get washed and sent back out. So that's it.
The batter is Jason Masterdonato of Comcast Sportsnet. He strikes out. So we've seen a Nesson strikeout and a CSN strikeout.
It's the Tom Seaver jersey, I think he's got going there.
Looks like it. Trying to figure out who the pitcher is. Tom Karen really put us in our place here in terms of knowing what's going on in the game.
Tommy threw us off. We were, you know, on a roll. Give it a nice scoop.
That's picked at first. Gordy's having himself a night. You know,
now.
he was runner-up for MVP last year with the home run. He's making a case for the MVP this year. Just like that, we're through 6.
Couple base hits and solid in the field. 6 complete, 8-0.
Home team on top. A little more offense than we're accustomed to in past years. Still no home runs, though. Nobody's left the park yet.
Nope. And still a good crowd. Good crowd here tonight.
And I think, to me, it's so simple, but to me it's brilliant that they make sure to do it a night where the Red Sox and because it's preseason, Patriots are off.
Yes. Well, that's Buck purposely picks this night every year.
Right.
That the night the Sox are off, the Pats will play their first game on a Thursday night. They won't play again until Saturday. So this is the perfect pocket to put this game. So there's no distractions. No one's looking anywhere else. It's all eyes right here in St. Peter's Field in Cambridge. And can't say enough about the city of Cambridge. Doing a great job. The grounds crews here, they do it for free. Everyone's doing this for free tonight. And it's a big production. This is a very big production.
I think they even came out and raked the field at one point because it still looks very good.
Oh, these guys are
for 6th inning of baseball.
Yeah, and these guys will close up the park tonight. When we get out here at midnight, these guys will be here about 2 in the morning, cleaning up, closing up, and all on their time. So you can't say enough about that.
And the new pitcher will tell you when he turns around here. That jersey's got a number on the back. It's got a 4 on it. It's a Lou Gehrig jersey, 1932 New York Yankees. The pitcher is Kyle Odolito.
Big lefty from Assumption by way of Saugus, Mass.
A couple Saugus guys, Jared Carabas as well.
And when we get a chance to, when we come back, at some point we get some DVDs we want to promote too. With Buck. Buck is in doing one, and John Martin did one too. So we'll promote those. We'll give you a little background on those 2 DVDs that are for sale too. Great DVDs. I think you would love them, and it'd be great to add to your collection.
Tilio, 11 appearances this year at Assumption, mostly out of the bullpen, 4.50 ERA. Did strike out 27 in 30 innings. That one is a called strike.
It'll pop on that
through that one, yeah.
Over the top, lefty. You don't see that too much.
This jersey in the program isn't listed as being worn this year. That's a Dick Raditz jersey.
Yes. Now now like going back to what we said, this jersey's been in rotation. But it's up to the size too, as we said earlier. You can find the right person to wear the right jersey too. I think this jersey hasn't been out for a couple years.
One's inside for a ball. So this jersey actually came from the Red Sox when they honored Ted Williams in 2002. And if you saw like last night with the 67 team, they'll remake the retro jerseys. That was the one they made for Dick Raditz to come back and honor Pedro. One of the great relief pitchers in Red Sox history. He actually threw out the first pitch at the Oldtime game, see if I can do my math here, 3rd Oldtime game in 1999.
The monster, Dick Raditz. Another special guest coming in.
So we've had a couple of Red Sox guests, now a Yankees guest. Lindsey Berra joins us as Gordy Gronkowski steps to the plate. Lindsey, you seemed ready to run out there. I thought you were going to steal.
It was funny because I have not, I don't do this on a regular basis anymore. And my boyfriend was like, that lead was really big. And I was like, I wasn't even really thinking about it. I was just sort of excited that after 20 years of not really playing baseball, I dove back without a second thought. And then all of a sudden I'm on my stomach and I'm like, oh, that wasn't bad. That was good. I'm glad I still had the instinct to dive back into first base.
Now, most people are wearing the Old-Time Baseball Game hats. I noticed you have the Yankees hat on.
Yeah, no, I'm not putting that. I feel like if I'm going to wear the Yankee uniform, I might as well go all out.
I was going to say, it really completes the picture.
Yeah, you look kind of dorky in the navy blue uniform with the burgundy cap. Nothing against the Old-Time cap. They're very attractive caps. James Greeley right here looks stunning in his cap, but I like my Yankee cap.
So you've been a part of the Old-Time Game for a couple years now. To see the crowd tonight for Pedro and John Martin, how did this year, obviously it was different, there's a bigger crowd, Pedro's one of the bigger names they've had, but as somebody playing in the game, to look out at that crowd in the cause, what was that like?
First of all, it's always a lot of fun to play when there's a really big crowd, and there's such good energy here tonight. And I got here at 4 o'clock, and there were already people staking out spots, which is terrific. And you know, a lot of that obviously is because Pedro is really famous, but to have it attached to a cause like ALS, I just actually, my boyfriend and I we have a really good friend, 58 years old, who just passed away from ALS last week, and he was one of the ALS TDI people who had a genetic treatment option made for him by those people at ALS TDI, and they were wonderful to him, and they do absolutely wonderful work. So to have this many people here supporting that cause and also supporting John Martin as he starts to fight this disease, that's tremendous.
And to see the relationship, it's hard to find a relationship between the game of baseball and ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. To see that kind of relationship between, you know, something that a cause and an organization, I feel like baseball has really hit it out of the park, the way they've helped ALS between the Ice Bucket Challenge, obviously the Lou Gehrig connection, all of that.
It's cool. I don't know if you've been to Cooperstown, but they have the letter that Gehrig got from his doctor explaining what ALS amyotrophic or lateral sclerosis, I don't even know how to say it, what it was, because no one really knew what it was back then. And Gehrig thought, he could fix all of his problems by switching to a lighter bat because he started to feel the weakness. So yeah, obviously it goes way back with ALS and baseball, and it is really cool to see them continue that connection and really help to raise some money for a disease that has been under-researched. I mean, Lou Gehrig had it in 1939, and they haven't made that many advancements. And the money that they made from the Ice Bucket Challenge has really actually produced new information and new drugs. And it's gone right to it, which is great.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, where cancer was in the 30s to where it is now, and leaps and bounds, but ALS is, like you said, is barely budged.
I know, and baseball's connection with it, and Pete Frady's, God bless him, with that Ice Bucket Challenge, it's brought so much awareness to ALS, and these guys here right here in Cambridge too, ALS TDI, and to have this game here in Cambridge for so many years and have that connection made is great as well.
Well, this is the cornerstone of medical right here. This is where you want to be.
Yeah.
If you do get
smart people in this town.
Very smart. We're too smart.
Smart people.
Yeah.
There you go.
If you're going to be sick, you might as well be sick in Cambridge, right?
Yeah. No.
Now, did you drive down for tonight?
I drove up from Jersey.
Drove up,
okay. Yeah.
Up from New Jersey, okay. This is your second year, right?
Fourth.
Oh my God.
The first 2 years I wore a Johnny Pesky uniform.
Okay.
I remember telling Grandpa that, I was like, Grandpa, the only one they have that's small enough is this Johnny Pesky uniform. And he goes, it's all right, I really liked Old Needle Nose. So that's good.
So now, I don't think it would surprise a lot of people. You're a Yankee supporter. And you, first of all, and we talked earlier this week, it's amazing how you keep such a fine line between reporter and fan, and you seem to balance that really well. But Red Sox, Yankees, huge series. You happen to be in town. Are you going to stick around for any of it?
I am actually going to New Hampshire over the weekend. My boyfriend has not taken a vacation at all yet this summer. We're going to go hike for a few days, but we will be watching all of those games for sure. It is interesting for me, the reporter and fan thing, because I feel like the only team I really super root for anymore is the North Carolina Tar Heels, because I played there. I played softball there, and that's the team that I say like we about. But the Yankees, I will always have an affinity for the Yankees. I will not use the word we though. It's not. If I'm not available to pinch hit in the eighth, like I'm not gonna. It's like a pet peeve of mine. But I will certainly be watching the ball games this weekend. It's gonna be fun.
I think you could say while you're wearing the uniform. You can say
yes, but if I am actually in fact wearing a Yankee uniform right now, but the we is the home team at the Oldtime baseball game.
And hey, you guys are up 8-0. Can you give us a Yogi quote for what's going on out here?
It
right
ain't
now?
over till it's over. Pay attention.
Now let me ask you.
We were overwhelming underdogs.
Do you think the conversation around here has been the rivalry is sort of calmed down as far as Yankee Red Sox? Not calmed down, but the hatred isn't there. Have you seen that?
I mean, I would agree, but I think that happens in every rivalry when neither team is like stunningly good.
Yep.
And as they both get better, I think the hate will come right back.
You think it'll start?
I think so too.
It's a good way to put it. The hate isn't gone right now, but it'll be back.
It's just like it's simmering. It'll boil back up pretty soon, right?
A lot of that revolves around superstars too, and after both teams really lacked that top-tier talent. Aaron Judge having the season he's had, Chris Sale probably on his way to a Cy Young. Who's the best player in the Red Sox-Yankees rivalry right now, in your mind?
Chris Sale.
Wow, okay.
I mean, obviously, you like to watch these guys playing every day. Judge, Benintendi. I love to watch There's a lot of Red Sox I love to watch. I love to watch Bogarts. I'm really excited about Devers. It's fun. There's a lot of really good guys. I love Hicks. Aaron Hicks is so much fun to watch. So
I saw there's this small community of Yankees fans that were so into the fact that the Yankees needed to keep this guy. He was untouchable, and they've been throwing the biggest parade for themselves on Twitter
Hicks,
in the last couple of weeks.
They really have. Yeah. It's actually very funny. But he's always been sort of like a work hard, and he's like a happy presence. He's kind of got like the Bernie Williams kind of smile in the outfield, a little reminiscent of that. I just like seeing guys put their heads down and work hard, and he's definitely one of those fellas.
That's what we talked about. The hate is gone. There's really, I mean, there's no one really to hate on the Yankees if you're a Sox fan right now.
No,
and vice versa. Like you said, the Benintendis, they're all young, good players with good attitudes.
think Red Sox fans hate certain Red Sox players right now more than Yankees fans still.
I know.
So before we let you go here, Lindsay, real quick, one more question. How well does Clint Frazier need to play? What does he need to do for the Yankees to let him grow his flow back out?
Oh, God. As long as there is a Steinbrenner in charge, that is not happening. It's just not. You got to cut your hair. Yeah. I don't know. And I don't know. That red hair, I think it's maybe better to not have it long. I'm just thinking it's just, yeah. Like, look at Jason Worth. Like, what are you doing? It's not a good idea. Like, you don't need to grow all that stuff.
Not a fan of the caveman look?
No. And I always forget, who's the Mariners center fielder? Oh my God.
Not
What's
Seager.
his name? No. He just made a really great catch the other day. I was watching. Anyway, same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys. You don't need that much flow. It's not necessary.
See, for me,
this is not David and Goliath.
Brian Wilson, Dodgers Brian Wilson, the relief pitcher, to me is the peak. Nobody will ever top that, so I even try. With the beard tied up and the dyed black.
And that, like, painted on tuxedo.
Yes, at the ESPYs.
Oh.
He was a nut. That was, people talk about baseball needs a character. They need a personality. You don't get much better than Reynolds. Well, Lindsay, it's been a half an inning. I'm sure you want to go back and celebrate your lead, not your win. It ain't over till it's over.
We didn't score more yet.
No. Nope, still 8-0.
Second and third. We didn't get one there, huh?
Nope. They should have saved you as a pinch runner.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't rub it in. All right.
As long as they don't make me hit, it's unsafe. Anyway, you guys have a great night.
Awesome. Thank you so
too.
much.
Thank you for coming on. Lindsay Bear with us, and it is still 8-0, top of the 7th inning here in St. Peter's Field in Brookline.
Trevor Danilek will lead off the top of the 7th.
Yeah, I can't believe they made her wear a Johnny Pesky jersey.
Well, you know, you're a New Yorker coming up here. You got to pay your dues.
Not just a New Yorker. Yogi Berra's granddaughter.
Well, hey, you know.
That's not just any New York. That's like one of Ted Williams' kids coming out wearing a Babe Ruth jersey.
A generation removed, okay, you know, if it was her daughter, maybe.
And once again, we completely fall behind who's in the game.
Yes.
With these guests.
No complaints, though. We've had some, I love talking with Tommy. TC was doing a great job. And I'm telling you, he nailed that auction, too. I think I might have a yard sale and have him come over.
Still time left if you want to get over here. If you're in Cambridge, want to come by St. Peter's Field, we got 3 innings of baseball left as this one gets away. If you can't make it and you have any questions for us, feel free to use the hashtag #OldTimeBaseball.
Still a good crowd.
Yeah.
And did you happen to make it by the auction table earlier tonight, too?
Yeah, I walked by probably an hour before we started. They were still getting some of the stuff unwrapped. The coolest thing for me, and maybe it's because I have engineers, architects in my family, the Fenway Park blueprints.
Yes.
I have on my wall at home, my grandfather worked on the Big Dig, so I have a big construction plan layout of pretty much all the big digs. So, you know, to put Fenway Park near that would be pretty cool. People come by, why is there roadwork plans on your wall?
Between that and Fenway, you wouldn't have to paint your room.
So the coolest thing about my grandfather retired in the 90s, and he was a diehard Red Sox fan. And somebody wrote on it, "You will see the Red Sox win the World Series," and that's the coolest. He had all his coworkers sign it. It was his retirement gift.
All right.
And that was the coolest when we realized that was on there.
Very prolific, guys. So you got to thank for breaking the curse. Right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Top of the 7th, now 1 on. Lindsay was really locked into the scores. First one who's come over, and we haven't talked to many players, but she was genuinely upset they didn't score.
She's competitive. She's very competitive.
This is Alex Joyce at the plate, by the way. He's wearing a Birmingham Black Barons jersey, originally worn by Willie Mays in his minor league days. Willie Mays from the great state of Alabama. Birmingham Barons right now, they've got, you know, some big-time prospects thanks to the Red Sox and the Chris Sale trade. Michael Kopech tearing it up down there. This one's hit hard into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Trying to go first to third. Here comes the throw. It's going to be cut off. Now we'll play it first. They have him in a rundown. Joyce turned the bag too much. To second, they go back to first, and Gronkowski's going to use his reach to tag the man out. No advance at third.
He held the bag. He didn't even go anywhere on that rundown. Didn't try to draw a throw. Playing it safe with no outs. The fly ball will get you home. Here it is. Nice throw, nice cut. And you see the rundown start.
That's Trevor Danilik at third, who did not advance. There's a cool thing on ESPN today, if you saw it, the skunk in the outfield play.
No.
They had a piece on this play. It was in Providence High School Championship. And it's basically this trick play in baseball, the concept of you have runners at first and third.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know this, as Jared Carrabba steps to the plate. The baseline technically is not the place in between the bases. It is a straight line between wherever the runner is and the base he's trying to get to, and it only exists when there's an attempted play to get him out. So the concept of the play is you have the runner on first run straight into right field and just hope the other team is so caught off guard they throw the ball away and the run can score. And I saw that. Now every time there's runners on in this game, I want to see some sort of trick play. That's a strike in there to Carrabba.
Okay, let me understand this. First and third, the batter hits there's a batted ball in play?
So the runner on first, instead of taking his lead down the line, just sprints into right field.
Sprints to right field.
And you hope the other team tries to throw where there's nobody or something. The point of the article is it wouldn't work in the majors. They're too good. Wouldn't work in middle school. You don't want to do that to middle schoolers. High school's that perfect balance of you're competitive, but guys haven't seen everything, and you hope that something just goes wrong.
What's the correct play then?
So the correct play is to either just hold the ball and let him stay out there, and you throw it.
Pitch it, right, because that's his lead. Technically, it's his lead.
Or if you can surrender the run, the pitcher again, you have to read the ESPN part, the piece. They'll explain it better than I did. The pitcher, first baseman, second baseman, right fielder, it's called the huddle play. You literally just essentially play catch and close a circle around the runner until you tag him out and you let the runner score.
All right.
An interesting read, though. I recommend checking it out.
Here's another trivia question. Who's the most infamous, this will be the giveaway, you should know this, if I say infamous Birmingham Baron?
Well, that would be Michael Jordan.
There you go. Very good.
From the movie Space Jam. One of the great sports movies of all time. I will defend that as much as I need to.
Really? Space Jam, you're putting that in your top 5?
Top 5 sports comedy movies? Yeah, probably.
Really?
It's because I saw it. I was so young. It was the Looney Tunes. It's hard not to like.
I'm gonna hate to ask you this question. Where do you put Slapshot then?
Oh no, Slapshot's a better movie.
Okay.
Right. But I'd say Space Jam's best basketball movie.
All right. Okay. Over who? No. Well, what about Hoosiers?
You not a huge Hoosiers guy. In terms of comedy, Hoosiers isn't funny.
No, but
Hoosiers is a great movie. What's the one with Samuel Jackson, Richmond? Why can't I think of the name of it? Samuel Jackson's the coach for Richmond High School.
Yeah.
Coach Carter, thank you in the ear,
Coach
Lucas.
Carter, yeah.
I don't know why I couldn't think of that. That's a great movie. Space Jam's up there, though, yes. Hoosiers is a great movie. I had this, thank you, Jared in the truck, pardon me. I think my personal favorite all-time sports movie, I don't know if it's the best one. My personal all-time favorite is Miracle.
Yes. Yeah, that was, which is even better. I'm going to take this a step further. We were just talking about this the other day with a couple friends of mine. Watch the HBO documentary on that. Oh, nasty pitch. Late break on that.
6.5 in the book, stretch times. It's 8-0.
We talk about movies. Watch the HBO documentary on Miracle on the '80 Olympic team, and it's a great documentary. Watch that last pitch.
Oh, with that sidearm action coming back across the plate, that is filthy.
Late movement. So we got some DVDs right here. We'll give you one to hold. So that one.
Hold these up for the camera there.
Yep. Okay, so the one I have is called Touching the Game, and Steve Buckley narrates this one. Okay, and it's sort of like a Cape League thing. Minor league baseball in Cape Cod, it's really good. And this one, Touching the Game from Alaska, which John Martin took all the video there. So baseball in Alaska and Cape Cod.
The Alaska League's one of those up-and-coming summer leagues. I have a friend who called some games up there. Said great things about it.
So $12 a piece or $20 for the pair. And touchingthegame.com, you can order them online. And I highly suggest you get these if you're a fan of baseball documentaries.
I'm going to step away here for a second. God bless America's 7th inning stretch.
As the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us pledge allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair. As we raise our voices in a solemn prayer, God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the light with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
We hit the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour here in Cambridge at the Old-Time baseball game. Thanks for joining us. Alex Barth, Eddie Basile, Nick Rojas still roaming around out there.
But getting back to these videos, so touching the Cape, Steve Bucky narrates it and had a lot of input in this. In 2003, they followed the Cape League for a year and talked to players, coaches, fans, just everyone involved with the Cape League. And it just shows how the Cape League, you'll testify to this, is probably the purest baseball league, summer league going on in the country, hands down.
Yeah, I mean,
any better than that.
you can't hype up the Cape League enough. I had some friends come down the summer I was working there, and I kept telling them, it's going to be great, it's going to be great. And they're like, you're really overselling it. Like, we're going to be disappointed. And they loved it. You can't overhype it.
I mean, wooden bats, quality players. I mean, kids who are there just for the love of the game, you know, spending the summer working and living there with a host family. It's just, you know, it's what it's all about.
Now go back to Nick Rojas, who mentioned he's walking around. He's got another interview. Nick.
Thank you guys so much. I'm joined now by Gordy Gronkowski. Gordy, how's it going tonight?
Hey, doing great. Having an absolute blast out here today.
It seems like such a fun time. You got the great Red Sox jersey on there today. What's this overall experience like for you when you come out? And you mentioned before that this is your second year here.
Yeah, so this is my second year. I really didn't know how each year they support a different cause. And just coming out here and supporting whatever cause it is, it's important. You know, people go through a lot every day in their life. You know, a lot of us are fortunate to be able to live the way we do, especially like our family. But, you know, to come out here and support different events and different causes and see the community come out here, it's unbelievable, you know. And I know how much this means to a lot of people for us to come out here and support them. You know, the Martin family, the Frady's, you know, ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, all the different diseases out there, it's tough, you know. And these guys are battling and fighting every day, and the least we can do is come out here and support these guys.
Absolutely. And one final thing here, how would you describe your baseball playing days and then versus now?
I don't know. Last year, I was still 2 for 3 versus these college kids, you know, hit a home run and a double. This year, I'm struggling a little bit, but still got to knock up the middle. You know, probably got a step slower than usual. You know, my hands are a little bit slower, but I'm competing out here. It's still fun coming out here versus these kids. you know, all the little kids are coming up here asking for autographs, and it's good to see them and how happy they are and the smiles that we're putting on their faces too. So it's an awesome event. Look forward to doing it every single year, and I'm having an absolute blast out here today.
It is an absolute blast. Well, good luck in the rest of the game, Gordy.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Back to you guys.
He sounds just like his brother.
He does.
And you can see the Gronk T-shirt underneath his jersey, too.
You can almost tell he's ready to bust out, too, ready to do something crazy. But, yeah, he was the MVP last year, as we said earlier.
Hit a blast to right field.
And still, he could be in the running for this year, too.
He's got a couple of hits. He said he wasn't playing as well. Now, he doesn't have a home run, but he's been one of the better players tonight, I thought.
Yeah, had a great game at first base so far.
He's been in the game for a while. Remember, he started
the game
in a game with a lot of substitutions. They've kept him in the game. Up and in for a ball.
Seen a lot of inside pitches tonight.
I'm telling you, it's the spirit of Pedro Martinez.
Steve Gaff, Bentley University.
Mentioned the Montreal Expos at earlier. Montreal Royals jersey.
I like that. I like that jersey. That's simple. It's got some nice color to it. I like the blue. Not overstated, but I like that one. A little late in the swing now.
Count runs full.
In the spirit, I don't know if you can see those. You see those blue jerseys in the background. Foul off the right. In the spirit of baseball, every one of those blue jerseys are the Cambridge employees who were working the field tonight. So they gave them all their own little baseball jerseys too. It looks great.
They all have different numbers. They got those custom. Mark Monahan's the pitcher, by the way. He's wearing a 1920 South Philadelphia Hebrew Association jersey. They started as a baseball team. They eventually became the Philadelphia Warriors, who are now the Golden State Warriors. So it started, owned by Eddie Gottlieb, as a semi-pro baseball team in South Philadelphia. Then they switched to basketball, and then they got Kevin Durant and Steph Curry.
Okay, full circle. I can see how that happened.
Not a bad, if you're gonna, as a startup, to go from a semi-pro to the top of your field, top of a different field than you started, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Tom Caron's still here. I think I just heard him on the PA.
I think they're towing his car.
Didn't make it to the bar.
Yeah. I think I see him walking away there.
Hit hard on the ground, and it's bobbled it short. There's not going to be a play. And more issues in the field for the road team.
Yeah, pulled his head up at the last second to pick up the runner, and that's what you don't want to do because that's what the end result when you pull your head up at the last second on that ground ball.
Jason Mastronato of CSN. These media guys have to be really careful what they do in the game because they're the ones who are out here criticizing players day in and day out. It's their job.
Right.
Well, a lot of times the players say, I'd like to see you do better. And we have Merlone strike out. We had a Pellerin strike out. Now an error for Mastronato.
Well, we won't rub it in too much. We'll go easy on him.
Right. Except Carabas. He promised a home run for the second year in a row, and he struck out for the second year in a row.
He's trying to reverse psychology on that. That didn't work.
Chop to third. Throw to second. Goes over the head. They had a tailor-made double play, and he throws the ball into right field. And possibly more runs on the way for the home team.
Tried to shot put it over the. I think he realized he was a little bit close. Threw it off the wrong foot and just sailed it in the right field.
Natchmanoff up to third. Bert's going to get all the way to second. It's going to be runners on second and third with one out for Mark Monahan. First pitch is a strike.
This is
curveball.
Cristofori.
Didn't make it.
This is Cal Cristofori wearing the Billy Goodman jersey. Struck out in his last appearance. Native of Belmont, Massachusetts. Another one of these high school upstarts playing in this one. That's up and away. One of the others who we haven't seen yet is Jordan Leandre. who, if you watched the Red Sox game last night, may have thrown out the greatest first pitch of all time. We were hoping to talk to him later. We'll see if he stops by. He's been badgered by everybody, though. He made the rounds. He's on the Section 10 podcast. He was talking to CSN before the game. And they surprised him by letting him throw out the first pitch here tonight, and they had the photographer he hit catch the pitch.
That was nice. That was just, you know, taking it all in good fun, that's the way it should be, you know, and it worked out perfect.
You know, as an 18-year-old kid, he has taken it 100% in stride. He's been great about it on Twitter, obviously talking to the media as much as he has. He doesn't have to do any of that.
No, you stay positive and you keep a smile on your face, and that's the best way to handle it. It was fun.
Look, that highlight's going to live on forever. he is immortal now. Monahan's payoff pitch. Hit foul again over towards the parking lot. You know, I pulled in earlier just to get directions where I should park. And they're like, you don't want to park there. And I see cars over there now. Giant glass should be on speed dial.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous there. A little dangerous. Talking with Ben Weiss before the game, he had 6 dozen baseballs. And he was like, I hope that's enough. There's a rocket to center field.
Frozen rope, but it's lined up. The catch has made one out. The runner's going to tag. And the throw's cut off at the mound. We have a throw at third. He's in safe as Burt.
That throw goes to third. They have him.
I'm glad Nuzzo picked that, because that was coming right at us.
Right at us, yep.
But Burt tags to third. A run scores. It's 9-0.
He makes the throw to third. They have him.
Let's take another look at that one. First of all, a great piece of hitting.
Yep.
To get that ball in the air, he knows he's going to drive a run in.
Play like that deep, you know you're not going to get him at the plate. So you don't want to go. You don't want to go cut off on the mound. You'd rather go right to third, hit the cutoff that way. Because you weren't going to get him at home. He was too deep on the fly. So
the Abbott Angels put up a 10 spot 2 years ago. That was in 2015. Last time we saw double digits in this game before that was 1997. That was a 10-10 tie. And the Abbott Angels were one of those sponsors. They've sponsored more than anybody else.
Yeah, they're a staple here, regular sponsor.
And they've put up big numbers when they sponsor a team. They rarely lose. They had won 2 in a row, one over Perkin Elmer, and then one over the Andrig family. The Andrig family got one back last year. First time there's been 3 consecutive sponsors in this game. So a little bit of a rivalry brewing here. Swings through that one. It's going to go to 1-2.
You can tell it's the Dick Raditz jersey. A little big.
Just a bit.
When you nicknamed the Monster, I don't think you're wearing anything under a XXX.
Ground ball to short. Master Donato has it that time. One hopper to first is not in time.
Good hustle.
There's Leandre. Tried to pick that one. Couldn't do it.
Nice hustle down the line to beat that one out.
Now batting Greg Gronkowski.
All right, so Nick just talked to Glenn Gronkowski a couple minutes ago. He said he was not as pleased with his performance this year as he was last year, as we take another look at the attempted pick and the throw from Mastradato. He's got the footwork down there after he dropped a ground ball earlier. Keeps the fundamentals in check. And a nice stretch from Leandre.
Not much momentum going forward on that throw. He's almost thrown off his back foot a little.
As I was saying, another chance here for Gronkowski to pad his stats. He does have a runner on first. The 0-1.
This at bat could be the deciding factor for MVP here. Big base knock might put him back in the lead for MVP tonight.
1-1 thought about it. It's called a strike anyway. Goes to 1-2.
In protection mode now at the plate. Something tough. He's going to try to foul it off.
That was the pitch. If he was going to get a hold of one.
A little late.
That hit something. So you hear the O from the crowd. That must have been a car based on where it landed.
Yeah. Was it your? Did you move your car?
No, I'm down the
okay.
street.
All right, good.
And in foul territory, so even if it's a home run, he's not hitting me.
See if they pound the outside corner again.
1-2 to Gronkowski. Catcher sets up outside. It's in the dirt. Tries to backhand it 2-2.
They've got the book on him. They're not going to come in on him. He'll jerk one to left field out.
That was the one last year, up and in, and he just got all of it. Yeah, everybody running. It might be that Channel 5 van it looks like everybody's running towards. Gets a hold of this one, but it's going to stay in play. And out there in right field, Jared Carabas, who didn't play in the field last year, makes the catch for the out. So we put 7 full in the books. Surprised not to see Jared showboating after he made that catch.
Well, he's got to do it at the plate, too, you know.
That was the pitch Gronkowski wanted. A great swing, but
busted him on the hands just a little bit too much, but they have enough strength to drive it out there pretty deep.
If he pulls that ball, if he can get inside on that ball and pull it down the line, he has at least a double.
He's got if he gets the barrel of head around around on that one, he's in good shape. But came in quick on him.
Once again, you're watching the Old-Time Baseball game from Cambridge, Massachusetts. I'm Alex Barth. He's Eddie Basile. Nick Rojas roaming around as well. 10-0 with the home team on top.
So what's your favorite jersey that you've seen tonight?
So I do like the Hawaii one that Carabas has.
Yeah. That's the sleeveless one, right? That's sleeveless.
Right. There's a couple. Well, the Alaska Gold Miners one is also one of the vest jerseys.
Yep.
I like that. You know, I was thinking about when I left my house today, I have one of those like newsboy hats.
Yeah.
If I went like that, a bow tie and suspenders, if I would look like an old-time announcer. And then I realized I wasn't coordinated with you guys, and I would just look like an idiot. But maybe next year we go old-time announcers.
Maybe we could. We could.
If anybody's familiar with the TV show Brockmire, if I can get one of those plaid jackets that Jim Brockmire wears, and the hat, you put the little flower in the lapel. If anybody knows where I can get a Brockmire jacket, I will 100. If it can be 120 degrees out next year, I will wear a wool plaid Brockmire style jacket on this broadcast. We got a new pitcher here, so here comes this game again. He's got a Grays jersey on.
As we said, there were 70 uniforms in play tonight.
And we got they're really not sorted in the program by they're sorted by year, which is probably the right way to sort them, but makes it tough to find. Here it is. It's the pitcher is Matt Trotta. The jersey is a 1930s Homestead Grays jersey worn by Josh Gibson. Gibson, considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest hitter in the Negro League's history. He was referred to as the Black Babe Ruth at his time. One of the great what-ifs in baseball history.
Look out. Look out.
And the last thing you want to see is a 6'7" Gronkowski charging towards you.
Running in the crowd. There's a bull coming your way.
There really is. I mean, most baseball games, that's a routine foul out, but because the crowd can get so up and close to the game, which is part of what makes this game so unique.
Yep. Like we said, they were basically sitting on the foul line.
There have been kids running on the fields here and there at times tonight.
Can't believe them. I mean, there are a lot of kids still here tonight. Curveball a little inside.
That one's up and away. So we got Nick joining us now in the booth. Nick, you done chasing people down? Or you just taking a break here?
Say, chase people down and taking a break. I'm halfway there.
You've done a terrific job tonight. How much does Gordy Gronkowski sound like his brother?
It's unbelievable.
Right?
It's like talking to Gronk in person, like the best Gronk impersonator in the history of the world. He is unbelievable. I'm sure the cameras picked this up. The size difference between me and him.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he plays, professional sports, and I'm with a microphone in my hand.
And you were still standing on a box too. On
Yeah.
top of it.
Oh yeah. No, actually, I had people put me up on their shoulders, and I was like, when they have like those kids wear those trench coats and they're trying to. It was like that kind of situation there.
So you've been walking around obviously more than we have, and you were on the first base side where the parking lot is and the players are coming in and out. What was it like with Pedro when he came out of the game? Was he getting into the crowd?
My goodness, it was. I was telling people that it was like all four Beatles, were just showed up over there. And someone pointed out, obviously, he's one of the the best. They said top 50 baseball players of all
when
time.
it comes to pitchers, he is one of the four Beatles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously, it comes with it comes with the territory when you're Pedro. But he was signing autographs. He was taking quick pictures as much as he could. I mean, it was a swarm of people. He had security there, helping him out. But he could not have been a nicer guy. People were screaming after meeting him because they just couldn't believe that Pedro walked by, and for good reason. He's a generation's worth of Red Sox fans' hero. So it was great to see the showing of support for him over there, certainly on the first base side.
We've been speculating that's why so many people are throwing up an in tonight. They just want to impress Pedro.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you gotta. I mean, when else are you gonna have the chance to see him coming through Cambridge, Massachusetts?
So the home team's up 10-0. How much of this is John Martin pulling the right strings in the dugout as the manager of the home team?
Unbelievable. That guy has a future in managing and pulling down. Obviously, it's great to be here on his behalf. I've been talking to a bunch of people, off camera, and they, just talking about how much, how much of a great person he is. Just hoping that other people meet him. I saw a lot of smiles over there and on his behalf when people were just talking about him. And obviously he's a special person to a lot of people. So, but obviously with the 10-0 lead, got a secret talent there, amassing talent over there on the home team.
And he can step away undefeated as a manager for his career. Well, no, that's not true because he's still at the Little League. Almost forgot about the Little League. And that was probably the coolest moment of the night so far for me, was in the pregame when they had all the Little League players, all his Little League players run out on the field with the check. That was the moment that gave you chills.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, this is talk about trying to find a cure for ALS. This is a great start, right? I mean, how good do you feel after tonight?
I mean, the perfect intersection of Boston between the care that is here in this city, in the medical level of this city, the Ice Bucket Challenge originating in Boston with Pete Frates. So we have some plays on the bases here. So to have this game in this place with this cause, it just seems like the perfect coming full circle.
Yep.
Yeah. The loyalty is such a big thing in this area, Alex, as you know, being from Massachusetts.
Well, you're New Englander. You're from Rhode Island. Don't sell yourself. I know I called Providence a AAA city earlier, but don't call yourself short.
We carry that chip on our shoulder. But, New England it's a brotherhood, and people look out after their own. You're from here. You're part of a small group of people from these small towns and cities in New England, and obviously sports touches everyone in this region. And when you can put together picking up your fellow man and sports in one event, a beautiful event like this. Is my first year here. I mean, it's touching. It's spectacular, honestly.
Well, these players, everyone, what Steve does with finding players for this game is finding someone that has a connection with ALS, finding someone that has a connection with, a couple years ago it was a hearing impaired. We had a deaf player play. So a lot of these players have some connection with a past fundraiser. They stay with it. I mean, a lot of these guys have already played here before and will continue to play. But there's all of it's just not the best baseball players. It's everyone who has a connection with some sort of charity that Steve does every year.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
I know there was already some fallout about this on Twitter, Nick, but walking around, has anybody mistaken you for Gary Streisky yet?
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's something that's happened to me ever since Gary joined over at Nesson. I get it a lot on Twitter, quite a bit, but around here, you get some double takes. Oh, did Gary come back? Did Gary come back to town? But it's been a lot of fun. Gary actually is a great person. I've contacted him once or twice because of the connection, but also someone who I look up to in broadcasting too, because he has a lot of fun doing his job. But he's not a bad guy to be compared to, that's for sure. At least in the look, like we look alike. I'm not on his level. I don't want to say that I am at all. So, but I'm trying to get there.
Ground ball to short, to second for one, on to first, the double play. What is that? The third of the night.
Nice.
A lot of defense in a 10-0 ball game.
Nice throw from second to first. He had to get some mustard on that one because it was a slow ground to the shortstop. Nice play. See that one. Big hop there. That big hop, you think he was going to beat it up, but watch this throw. Nice.
Here's another guy, Matt Nuzzo, who's been in the game for pretty much all, for all of it, actually. He started.
Nuzzo and Gronk right there with that combination.
There's been a couple of guys playing, start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be one of those people that you'd have to drag me off the field in order to get me out of this game. I mean, when was the last time you guys played a baseball game, and not softball or intramural or anything like that, but an actual?
Nothing like this since probably middle school.
Right, and baseball is such just a fun game to be in the mix. It's a great time.
Did you sense any? Because we could see it. I could see it with the nerves in some of the players. Just,
There's a lot of focus in there on the guys that are, maybe not the guys you've heard of. The guys who are, still either playing in college right now or just out of college. That, we're taking it seriously. There's a little bit of nerves because there's, Luke Merlone standing right next to you in the dugout, and you're just trying to, get a few good swings in. Maybe get noticed for some of your baseball skills there. But over on this away side here, a little bit more laid back, a little bit loose for sure. A lot of family members over there as well. So a little bit of different atmosphere in the two dugouts.
And then wearing a Ted Williams jersey doesn't help your nerves either.
Well, how about Teddy Rodliff, who grew up in Quincy? I'd assume grew up a Red Sox fan, having to pitch to Pedro Martinez.
Oh my God. I'd be so nervous on the mound looking down Pedro. I mean, first off, I wouldn't want to hit him.
Yeah.
Because you're being Pedro, and then, you end up...
You don't know what Pedro's going to do.
Exactly. He's
those
retired now.
competitive juices going.
He's in the Hall of Fame, so he can do whatever he wants.
He might want to pitch one more inning and get even with you.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's a good point. When's he coming up to bat?
Come on, one more.
It was spectacular to see him... keep saying the word spectacular, but that's the one that comes to mind today.
Yeah.
It's just seeing Pedro bat right there on this field. He's 20 feet away from me, and that was incredible. Now, obviously, us being American League guys, we're not really quite used to seeing Pedro bat.
It was nice.
It was cool to see, especially him wearing a Red Sox uniform while hitting as well. It's certainly not something I was used to growing up.
I'll tell you, he did not. I said this earlier. He did not stop smiling. I mean, he was smiling at bat, on the mound.
He's talking with everyone too.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was playing baseball here or campaigning for maybe some upcoming election. He was.
If he ran for anything, he'd win hands down.
Clean sweep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So we talked about the Alaska League earlier, the Touching the Game Alaska DVD that both Tom Caron and we had
John Martin.
Right, Tom Caron, John Martin worked on. So we have an Alaska League jersey out here right now. This is the Alaska Gold Panthers, and on the mound pitching is Nick Fryer. So we have Nick the Fryer with us. Nick works for Providence College, and Nick Fryer out on the mound.
I saw his name and immediately thought, well, there's my guy for the night. Rooting for him.
See how he does.
What's your favorite uniform so far?
I really like the House of David one. That's a big rip over there.
That's going to drop fair. Rough start for Nick Fryer.
That's the all-black one, right? If I remember.
Yeah, it's at first base right now with Jordan Leandre.
So I, in middle school, I moved to a new town, so didn't have many friends that summer leading into the fall. So I read Ken Burns' baseball documentary book. It came as a book form, and one of the early teams that they talk about, their House of David, one of those barnstorming teams.
Yep.
And so to see it go from this grainy black and white picture I used to read in this book to, on the field in person, it's pretty cool.
And these are pretty accurate to what the jerseys were too. So
these guys must have been glad that it wasn't that hot today.
Yeah. It was earlier. It got cool right when the game started. They timed it out perfectly. Sun went right down right when we got going. We had light for the pregame ceremonies, and then.
Yeah, these uniforms aren't built for comfort. I will say that. they're right to the period of time.
That was James Patty with that last double.
And not built for style either. As you can see some of them.
No, it was almost as if when they were designing jerseys in the late 1800s, early 1900s, or how can we get the most sweat out of these guys? Maybe we'll put some wool on them.
Yeah.
What is the worst possible thing you could wear while exercising?
Yeah, exactly. let's get some wool all over you. But it's amazing that baseball is one of those sports that not only played outside during the summer, but also arguably some of the most clothing head to toe of all the sports. Basketball inside, get to wear shorts in a tank. Baseball outside. I just don't know how these guys do it year round in the summer.
We even had, and we don't have any out here, at least I haven't seen any, but the real old school baseball uniforms were more like hockey sweaters. They were 3/4 sleeves. You had the tie up at the neck.
Yeah, right here. Third base coach has the 3/4 sleeve going.
The number on the backs, we can't tell you who that is.
That cannot be comfortable.
No. But the stirrups are a nice look.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the high
This
tops.
this game is like stirrup central.
Oh, absolutely.
This is what stirrups were invented.
This is where you can show it off.
The 1-2.
Now I see in Little League for me, the stirrups weren't really a thing, unfortunately. So we tried to mimic it. Have thigh-high socks. Roll them up. It's just not the same as just having the stirrups.
The as we talked about the sneakers. Now Buck will kill me because I think it's New Balance that has donated. Every player gets like a little goodie bag.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and these sneakers were part of the package. And so I think I want to say it's New Balance. Forgive me if it's not, but they're going to get into the cleat business next year. Really dive into it and really make a big push. So they gave Buck a bunch of pair of these sneakers, and all the guys got a pair too. So part of their goodie bag was nice.
Not a bad goodie bag at all. Kind of reminds me of the shoes that Benny the Jet Rodriguez wore in.
We were talking sports movies earlier. I can't believe we forgot to bring up The Sandlot.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a great one. I heard you guys talking.
Tell him, did you hear what his favorite sports movie is? I was kind of hearing it out
there. Space Jam, right?
Miracle. Space Jam's my favorite basketball movie.
Is that not normal?
No, it's completely normal. Space Jam is one of the greatest sports movies of all time. Sir,
And they should not make a second one.
I know. They shouldn't. They shouldn't tarnish it.
If anything, make Space Jam with another sport. Don't make another Space Jam basketball movie.
Now we sound like the old guy saying "Get off my lawn" when it
get
comes
off my
to
lawn,
Space Jam. There.
Jesus.
But what's your favorite baseball movie?
Favorite baseball movie?
Yes. Ooh. So you said Miracle was your favorite sports movie?
Yes.
Okay. It's a great one.
My favorite baseball movie is. Does it count as a movie? The 30 for 30, 4 Days in October.
What's the ruling on that? Now, do you consider it?
No, that's documentary.
So
that's my favorite documentary.
And it aired on TV, so.
This could be 2 again to second for 1 on to first. We have another Leandre off the bag to grab it.
Look out, coming out with it.
Runner took a couple steps off third. They'll hold him back. All right, so if that doesn't count, is Space Jam a baseball movie?
It's a great question.
That's like his
hot dog a sandwich. It's kind of like debating, like technically.
What is it? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
That too, as well.
I call Space Jam a basketball movie.
I would call it too. People
Can't be both.
People would want to argue.
I'm just buying time here. A baseball movie I haven't seen. I really want to see. I heard the Bill Spaceman Lee movie with Josh Duhamel that came out. What was it last year? Was really good.
I have not seen that one yet, and I'm someone who's really into movies. I go to the theater about once a week. Sports movies can be pretty hit or miss.
Yeah, but Bull Durham's gonna be I think my favorite. It's pretty accurate to minor league ball,
I'd agree. Now, some people want to argue against you there that it's not a sports movie, that it's more of a romantic, comedy or romantic movie. I think it's a baseball movie.
That's a baseball movie.
It's a baseball
absolutely.
Movie.
Well, how about this? Show Me the Money. Sports movie? Because there's very little sports in it.
That's true. It's more of like the behind the scenes of sports.
Right,
like
Jerry Maguire.
Right, yeah, I would call it a.
Yeah, that I would lean towards not a sports movie on that one.
Then I asked him to rate Slapshot, which you got to put.
No, I had just seen for the first time ever last year or 2 years ago.
You're kidding me.
I know. I'm slacking on that. Well, obviously, I'm the oldest of 4, and we were only allowed to watch kids movies pretty much until I was 18. So.
Yeah, Slapshot you don't want to be showing to a.
Exactly. Fantastic movie though. Paul Newman, Hanson Brothers.
The 3 of them still touring, still doing their shtick.
And their legacy carries on because you go to any hockey arena in this country or Canada, you got 3 guys all dressed up like them, which is, that's the true legacy of a great movie that it's able to connect all these years later.
Well, every time we have somebody sitting here with us, the home team goes on one of these ridiculous rally innings. Nobody out. They've loaded the bases.
I know.
That was some fastball. It's in there for a strike. A chance to tag on again. Alex Barth, Eddie Basile, Nick Rojas. In Cambridge, Massachusetts for the Oldtime baseball game, raising money for ALS TDI. John Martin, the primary beneficiary. If you want to get involved, first off, you can visit the ALS TDI website, which is als.org. And the John Martin fund as well. You see right there. He's got a GoFundMe page set up. That GoFundMe is amazing. I remember when John Martin first got diagnosed, and you had all the media types in Boston going on Twitter to say, hey, this is who John Martin is. Could everybody donate? Because they're using their platform. They have all the followers. I didn't know who John Martin was at the time. I thought that was great. 6 months later, people are still tweeting out that link, and people are still donating.
Yeah.
That blows my mind. So there it is to donate to the John Martin Fund. You can find them on GoFundMe. And then ALS TDI also involved in this. That one is
Look
ALS
out,
start.
look out.
That's right at us. Oh, boy.
Landed on the tent.
It's up. Right on top.
Oh, yeah, it's still there.
Oh, yeah. I thought that went next to us.
There it is right there.
All right, I guess good thing we had the tent. I was knocking the tent earlier.
I was
think
ready.
I could get any out of the way.
Right
anything
there. No, I was not going to make that play.
I was ready to go on the ground.
That was a scorcher.
That was a rocket. Pay attention.
As I was saying, ALS TDI, the other beneficiary tonight.
But talking about with the money, and I know when with Peter Frady's a few months ago, when the amount of money per month when you get to that level of the disease, it's staggering. Just just to take care of you,
just for a daily normal life.
It's incredible the cost of. And you try to compare it to putting it towards a cure, but
there's
this
also things that need to be taken care of on a day-to-day basis.
Just towards the end of that disease, it's just staggering.
And I think that's one of the things that
look out.
Things like this, what Frady's has done, what for John Martin, is they've done a good job communicating that some of this money needs to go to just being able to, just have a day where you don't have to worry about breathing or anything like that, and it's just they've done a good job of communicating that just the cost of just day-to-day life is just as important. Looking for the research as well. So, but obviously they've been making great headway in the past 3 years alone. I mean, we've heard so many great news stories about some of these breakthroughs they found out just from raising money for research in the past 3 years. So it's very heartwarming to see.
Popped up in the infield. Leandre's going to have a chance. He makes the grab for the second out.
We had Peter Frady's here. His fundraiser, I think it was three or 4 years ago. He was here, and that was pre-Ice Bucket Challenge. It happened just after that, and what was raised at ALS before that, and since has just been staggering for what he's done for ALS as far as the money goes. It's incredible.
Pitch is low for a ball. Again, this is the one of the few high schoolers in this game. That is Cal Cristofori, pardon me. Cal Cristofori. He puts a charge into that one. That's heading out towards right center field, but there to make the play in time for the out. So only one run allowed by Fryer in the inning, despite loading the bases with nobody out. As we make the turn for home, it's 11-0 with the Abbott Angels on top. Here we go, last chance for the road team to put up any sort of fight. Let's take a look at this one. He barreled this up very well. Just kind of died. The wind's picked up a bit.
Blowing in, yeah. I think it's blowing in from right field. Another perfect night.
So we've got, what, 3 more outs to see home runs in back-to-back years at the Oldtime game.
You never know. You never know.
Flagpole would suggest that, if you can get it past the breeze that it initially hits.
Yeah, it's still, but it's coming. It's coming in
this way.
Yeah,
which is because we could feel the breeze over here.
Yeah.
Right. The pole's not really moving, but yeah, you can definitely feel the wind.
I think how much of that is blocked by the trees over there. But you'd have to hit a pretty solid charge here with a wooden bat.
Yep.
It'd have to take probably like a pretty decent power hitter of a college kid to maybe put a charge in one.
Which I love. We were talking about the wooden bat, aluminum bat discussion earlier. I mean, I'm just a total wooden bat fan. Being on the Cape League, you see it there. But college, it just, I don't know. It's not. I don't think there's a place for it anymore. It's
in the college ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too dangerous. Too dangerous.
Absolutely. I mean, you can leave it up to the the professionals, or some of those summer leagues like that. Never had the chance to ever play with a wooden bat. Obviously, bat day would come. Like the Paw Sox, they would have bat day, and my parents would hope that we wouldn't play with those wooden bats. Much safer to be playing with the aluminum bats there. But I don't think they had to worry about, well, me at least. I wasn't exactly making contact with the ball. So.
Well, it was a time, growing up there was a time for aluminum bats. There was a time for it, and then, like anything, they just got better and better and better, and now it's, like hitting a tennis ball off a rock,
Absolutely.
Trying to figure out who's coming in here for the home team to start closing this one out. That's Larison. So he's wearing an old school White Sox jersey. That's a San Francisco Seals jersey.
Half of the fun has been trying to figure out.
Oh yeah, it's
who it is, what the jersey is.
Yeah, it is. you leave here, your head is spinning. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, all right.
Didn't know that team existed.
Yeah.
Who is that? Who's this? But
did you make it by the auction table?
I did walk by once or twice. TC was over there, I think, handing over the bats to the people that had won them. What were some of the signed bats?
Pedro signed 3 of them, I think.
They did it. J.J. Hardy won, too. Ground ball to third. I'll tell you, this high schooler right here, whose name I keep mispronouncing, he can play. Christofori, he can play.
This has to be a big throw for him.
He's got game. He's got game.
It's an odd, but trying to figure out the year of that Red Sox jersey. It looks like it's got to be
it's
pre,
an older
is it pre-50s?
You got 50s right here.
Yeah.
So pre-Rich Gedman.
With the Red Sox, it's hard to tell because it's always the hats that were different.
Right. You can kind of maybe tell with the length of the sleeves, maybe, but you got to be really in tune with. You have to almost borderline memorize it.
So here's Jordan Leandre, the hitter. If you watched the Red Sox last night, we talked about it earlier.
I was about to say you guys must have. It's been a crazy, 26, 27 hours for this kid right here.
He's handled it really well, though.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They both have. It was,
So I don't know if you guys talked about it, but he was on Jared Krabus' podcast late last night, early this morning, talking about it, and he didn't realize what he was talking about was, he didn't want to. Gun it in towards the plate, so he tried to lob it, but he got too up in his head there. He said he talked to the camera guy afterwards. He was more. The camera guy said he was more shocked than anything. But
the picture that came out of it, I mean, that's going to be up for all the awards.
Oh, absolutely. That picture of the ball, the 67 Red Sox in the background.
All the just horrified faces.
That picture needs to win a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, that picture with the ball about 10 feet away from him.
Absolutely.
Leandre goes down swinging. Hey, you know what? If I'm him, I'm telling college coaches if he's being recruited, I hit it. That was exactly where I was trying to throw it. Look how much on a dime I can throw. We're going to have a pitching change here, and they told us this would be coming. If we can get the name of who's coming into the game. I don't have the name. I know that this is one of John Martin. Marcus Mello is coming into the game. That's yelled in my ear. Thank you. Marcus Mello coming into the game, one of John Martin's Little Leaguers. He's going to close this out. He's dedicating this out to John Martin. And like you said all night, Eddie, Buck tries to find little ways to tie everything together. What a great way to end this game.
Yep, it's perfect. Perfect ending to this night.
I'm trying to see where John is in the dugout. It's tough to tell. I'm sure he will be extra focused on this one.
Like you said, Pedro Martinez picked him up, so that's his ride home.
So got the Cubans jersey there. Love to see baseball return to Cuba.
Someday, it's opening up.
That's right. The plates are shifting in that kind of direction there to have baseball return to Cuba there, and what a place it would be to see baseball return.
There's a couple of the Havanan Cubans jersey. There's a couple tonight that are in play.
It must have been a great spot to catch a game back in those days.
Well, when they had the game, remember a couple years ago, they had the exhibition game there, and that was that stadium, the big bright blue stadium, like arching over. That was a hell of a stadium. That seemed like a great place to go watch a game.
It seemed like every seat was decent seat.
Yep.
Get to see some good action. And obviously a locale that we're not used to seeing baseball be played, obviously for a number of reasons.
But the quality of ball there, I mean, if it gets the right injection of whether it's money or just, they get that little push for the kids there. There'll be a lot of good players coming out of Cuba.
So I'm going to step away. I'm going to get ready for the MVP interview.
Yep.
Yes.
Any predictions on who we think it'll be?
We've been saying Gordy Gronk.
Oh, what about Christofori?
He's been good.
You were commenting on him too, yeah. So.
Did Pedro leave? He did throw 2 scoreless innings, but he left.
I don't know if you can give him. He's got enough MVPs.
That's true.
I don't think he wants this one.
The 0-1. That one is up.
We'll giddy up on that fastball now.
And this is Marcos Mello. He plays here in the Boston Amateur Leagues. Like I said, the Boston Blue Jays. Up and in again, 2-1. Yeah, it's really wide open. I mean, when you score 11 runs,
yeah,
it's really wide open for MVP.
So then you give it to no runs. It's a defensive, a lot of good defensive plays, a couple double plays turned.
Maybe Rodliff threw 2 scoreless.
Yeah.
I do think, yeah, tonight probably a pitcher. Pitcher from the home team.
Like you said, too, Cristofori at third had a good game. A couple good at bats.
How about that if a high school player wins
No,
it was a walk is drawn right there.
You throw that in the mix as a high school player, too, on top of that. So
as we pass the top of the 10 o'clock hour here in Cambridge. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Somebody, Steven on Twitter got at us. He found the jacket I'm going to wear next year. I mean, I'll show you here, Eddie. I don't know if we can get this on camera. Is that an old-time baseball announcer jacket? Or
I
what?
like it. I like that.
See, it's on my phone, so I don't know how well we can get this, but that's got to be the equivalent of some. I mean, this was being worn by announcers when some of these jerseys were being worn in.
All you need is a
professional baseball.
Little thing in the lapel saying press.
Exactly, yeah. There it is.
I like that. I don't know about the tie, but I like the jacket.
You see the price on there too, though. That would be the only thing
That's
that
not.
stops
What is that, $75? That's not bad. I'm sure that Jim has it in the budget for next year.
That pitch misses for a ball.
You save pennies. You save 50 cents a day. I think you'll have it. This is for charity, all right? I don't want to don't start talking cheap on me now. It's all charity here.
You'd have to get in on it, Eddie. Nick would have to get in on it.
I'll donate it. I'm throwing $10 in on the jacket.
No, no. I mean, you would have to get a jacket too.
All right, I'll do it for charity. I'll do it. Absolutely. But we can't imagine if we.
No, it would have to be 2 different plaid jackets.
You couldn't watch the broadcast. It would probably be worse than the eclipse on Monday on your eyes.
Up for a ball.
You'd have to wear those special 3D glasses to watch us.
Little glasses with a little pinhole in them. Full count, 2 outs, runner on first. Mello trying to close it out. He kicks and delivers. He struck him out, and that'll do it.
Getting the high cheese there.
2017 old-time baseball game in the books, and that was a great fastball to close it.
Yep, perfect night, perfect game, and just an amazing night. Couldn't ask for a better night, couldn't ask for a better situation.
And the MVP tonight, as they just had it, Nick will be with him in a minute, is going to be Max Burt.
Okay.
He was, he was around the game pretty much all night.
Yep.
He had a good night.
He did.
Not his first rodeo at the old-time game.
Nope, but a good call. Yep, I'll agree with that.
He was on base 4 times. It was tough to, because we kept talking about the jerseys, it was tough to tell.
Yeah.
But he was on base 4 times, and yeah, it seems like a pretty easy one.
Yep, I'll go with that. See everyone shaking hands. I can see all the jerseys now. You get them all. Good view of all of them. And they will go to the cleaners tomorrow, get washed, cleaned, and
put away for next year.
Yep.
So again, 11-0 here at the old-time game. We want to remind you again tonight was all for a great cause, the John Martin Fund and ALS TDI. If you want to get involved or donate for the John Martin Fund, it is GoFundMe.com/ I believe John Martin Fund. It's a John Martin Fund on GoFundMe.com. And then ALS.org for ALS TDI, both great causes, both local causes here to the Cambridge area, to the Boston area. A lot of us, I know we have a lot of Nesson alums, even some current Nesson employees working on this crew tonight.
Yeah.
So the John Martin one touches very close to home.
He's in good hands with the Nesson family, so our thoughts and prayers go with them to just battling this, and who knows what will happen, but stay positive, and events like this can only help. As we see, saw Nick down there trying to get an interview.
Yeah, well, Nick waits for Max. Let's take a look back on some of the fun we had tonight. A couple of highlights.
Coach talking to the guys and just telling them, there you go.
A lot of strikeouts tonight. It really was pitcher dominated. Not a lot of balls in play. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of walks.
A lot of gas. A lot of gas.
Yeah. Like we said, it was a Pedro kind of night.
Yep.
Fastballs, pitchers coming inside, a couple guys hit. Yeah, about this kid, he was good tonight. I think he got out on this one, but he put some charge into that.
He did. That's Christopher. He had a good game.
And the MVP Max Bird, although this was...
That
was the error. We had a couple double plays tonight. That wasn't one of them.
That wasn't a highlight.
Cordy Gronk. That's one of my favorite jerseys right there.
Okay, yep.
And you notice in all of these highlights,
Play for Curry, right?
Yep. Is what really stands out. The number of people who are here to support John Martin and ALS TDI tonight.
Yeah, we forget about that. We talk about the game and all the fun, but we're here for a fundraiser, and we're here, and that's what these guys are talking about right now. You know, as Buck's talking to them, reminding them why they're here, you know, and thanking them, and something these guys will never, ever forget, I promise you that.
And we didn't end up getting to talk to Steve tonight, but he just does a fantastic job with this game.
Yeah.
Year in and year out.
He doesn't stop. This is, you know, like I said earlier, they'll take about 3 weeks off, a month off at the most, and then it's on to next year. So he's telling them, all right, go back, put the uniforms, fold them up.
Yeah, he's got the tough task now of topping this.
We say that every year. You know, what is he going to do next year? What is he going to do next year? You know, and it's funny because I always talk to him, you know, about the amount of people that are here. And I said, do you ever think of moving it to a bigger venue or somewhere where it's a little more conducive? Let's go down to Nick and see who he's got.
All right, guys, I'm joined by your MVP of the night, Max Burt. Max, how does it feel to be the MVP?
It feels great. It feels great. It's such a great event, great night with great people. And it's truly an honor to get this award. It's with some good players that previous got this award. So, no, great night overall with Pedro being here. Great experience. So I couldn't be more proud.
Now, you mentioned before to me that this is your third year doing it. Did it creep into your mind a little bit? You know, maybe this could be the year I get MVP?
No. I just kind of go out and play, have fun. That's just kind of what I do. So, obviously, it's a great honor. So, no, I'm just happy right now. So, it's cool.
Absolutely. And one final thing, I've been asking people this all night. You know, what did you think about the jersey you had today? You had a White Sox 60s jersey there.
Yes, I've had this for all 3 years now. This is pretty cool. I should know who it is. I don't know. You're catching me on a bad time right now, but no, this is cool. Great experience, great night, especially for the ALS, for Pete and John. So yeah, it's great. So
absolutely. Well, congratulations. We're all happy for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. We'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Nick. We're about ready to wrap up here in Cambridge. For more information on the Old Time game for next year, if you're interested, or to see a recap of this one, you can visit oldtimebaseball.com. For Nick Rojas, Eddie Basile, everybody who did such a great job in the truck tonight. I have a couple names off the top of my head. I know Lucas is back there, Jared's back there, Jim's back there, Alyssa's back there. I think we got a Matt in there. I'm doing my best, but they all did such a good job.
Awesome job tonight.
Jim Bates, Chris Narcini, Kenny Boyle,
Jimmy Sr.,
Dave Walter, Doug Maffetone,
Jimmy Jr.,
Jim Acomchuk Jr. I already said Jim as they continue to feed names into my ear. Danny Acomchuk.
What did they call him?
Keep him coming. Matthew Malone.
The Rune knowledge.
You can't just go live with yourself, Lucas. For all of you, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next year. This has been the Old Time Baseball Game.